And after so many weeks, we are back. I am so happy. Well, most of us are back. A couple of people are sick and will be joining us later. Uh, but anyway, we're back. Yay! Quick recap. A few weeks ago, the crew went on a trip to the Feywild. You were escorting the wizard Stu Pitify and his pet cat, Mr. Scritches, on behalf of Acquisitions Incorporated. It turned out Mr. Scritches was an awakened warlock and was trying to summon his dark god. You drop kicked him through a portal, and I'm sure he isn't swearing eternal vengeance on you all.
I forgot about that.
Yes, that was exactly what I envisioned happening. Somewhere out there, Scritches, the warlock to the dread Lord Nutterbutter, is plotting your demise. But we're not there to. Well, that's tomorrow's problem.
Is it?
Um, right now, you're all back in Sigil in your home base. Kiara is going to have to leave you for a little while. She got a message from her adopted father that some there's some going on he could really use some help with. Because of the war, there's of course an increased need for people who know how to make medicines and things of that sort. Uh, there's rumors that there might be vampire spawn around. He's not 100% sure because people who are suffering from severe blood loss after an attack are not very reliable narrators. So Kiara is going to have to step away for a little while.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to each of you and give you a big heartfelt hug, and
Yay, hugs.
for a few minutes, and I'll say my goodbyes, and I'll end up going outside and turning into a bird and flying away, or a micro griffin, whichever sounds cooler.
I make sure Tiberius doesn't
King
chase
as
after her.
flying, is that
Yeah, Tiberius absolutely
one.
chases.
This one.
But, you're leaving his territory, so, he's the victor. So he comes back all proud. Victor! Anyway, Frick and
Yeah.
Oscar and Frick are in the brewing hall. One of the three had the idea of doing pumpkin spice wine and is trying to sell the others on it. Now, I will leave it up to the imagination who came up with that one. But I think Jesse is getting ready to voice Frick's opinion on that. If he's not, you just look like you had an idea.
The correlation of this. Whether you were on it. Hey, listen, I'm trying to get everything in correlation, therefore we get everything in season. That's not my job. Listen, I'm trying to do everything according, therefore we get everything in straight. Well, screw you.
For those of you who didn't realize, there is now a simulacrum of Frick. Because he was doing such a good job with the wine sales that Acquisitions Incorporated authorized the creation of a second Frick to help man the brewing station when the original Frick is away. That's right, you have two Fricks.
I just see Trevor and Michael in the door to the basement, like, what's it? What?
Because Oscar is all for the pumpkin spice wine. He's like, look, I'm telling you, we're going to be able to get so many of those hippie elves drinking this stuff at the harvest festivals. It's going to be huge.
Why don't you include it in coffee as well? Make it like, spiced wine only. Yeah. You could set up like chain stores all over.
Oscar turns to you and says, like, this is Frick's fantastic fermented wine, not coffee. We are not trying to make people more alert. We are making them less alert.
But if they're more alert, they'll spend more money in order to keep that way.
Oscar just dismisses you because you're talking nonsense now.
And you just hear one of the other fricks. If you want to trade, you make it.
How many freaks are there?
There are two. There is Frick and Frick. Now, if you can't tell Frick from Frick, well, that's your problem.
You're a freaking frack.
I wanted to, and I suggested that, but it's up to Frick because he controls Frick.
Yeah,
So therefore, he controls Frick.
Like, it's one of those things. Frick would not name himself something other than himself, so it's one of those things.
So it will always be a coin flip which one you're talking
to
to.
him, he'll always know which Frick he's talking to, because there's only one. To everyone else, that's your problem.
Oh boy.
And Saravax does ask Frick and Frick, please don't spar with each other because Frick is very expensive to repair. So Frick, please don't damage Frick. And of course, this all came from, the authorized by Omen Drawn's personal assistant. So, you've got a nice little signed letter that was rubber stamped with Omen's signature. And, there was a delivery today. Delivery man comes in. He's being followed by this automaton. Got a package here. Need a signature from a Lord Frank Tastor. Is there a Frank Tastor here?
That's Lord Fantastic. He's coming up right now.
Okay.
At least one of them are.
Alright, so first off, need you to sign here. This is your official Acquisitions Incorporated keg robot. So sign here, initial here and here. If you don't already have the stats, I'll send them to you, but he can hold 12 gallons of various liquids, for when you're out trying to sell more wine franchises. You also have a stack of 100 contracts that will, set up this, so you don't have to write them out in crayon next time. He needs you to sign for that also. Sign here, initial here, initial here. And then they bring in one 5-foot box and one intern. Please sign here, initial here, and here.
Why is the box only 5 feet, and where are the air holes?
All right, and he takes the signature, all right, have a good day, Mr. Fricksistic, and he leaves.
This is the weirdest Amazon delivery I've ever seen.
Michael just starts. Michael just jabs a crowbar into the box with the intern in to try and open it up. He's
Michael,
like,
thank you, Mark.
Okay, you pop the box open, all those styrofoam peanuts start flooding out.
Michael starts sifting through them, trying to see if the intern is still alive. He's just
Okay,
Please
a
hit your
figure
hand
comes
on something.
flying at you, hit with a natural 20, apparently.
Oh dear God!
That's your
Not
cue.
the eyes! Not
Javelin hits you right in the cheek.
a javelin?
Yes. So I whack you in.
What is your damage with that javelin?
I need to find that. Javelin.
Because... Okay.
I'm looking
I
to
have no-
my new friend.
Oh, you have advantage on your next attack because of how hard you hit him.
How much do I do? I don't know. 1d8?
You roll the damage die twice for a natural 20.
So, d20, what?
No, whatever the damage die for the javelin is. It's probably like a d6.
It's a d8.
Okay, d8. So roll 2d8 and add your modifier, and that's your attack on Michael.
17.
Okay. You take 17 points of damage as a javelin pokes you the second the box is open.
And now you see a black hooded figure with a mask that you cannot see anything in front. You know, you can't see a face, but you can definitely tell it's a mask. And you can only
Pick
see
up the mask.
Roll for that, please, Frick.
Let's do a sleight
That
of
sound,
hand.
yeah, that sounds like sleight of hand.
Michael's just screaming, holding on to his face.
Trevor's
Jonga,
just in the background like I want.
Jonga, roll a dexterity to avoid having your mask pulled off. You know what? I think Frick gets this at advantage actually, because Jonga was in the middle of an attack. So Frick roll again.
Yep, 11 is better.
Okay. Jonga, what was your save roll?
From what? What do I roll?
You roll your dexterity and add the modifier.
Oh,
So
okay.
d20 plus your dex.
I gotta find that. I'm on both D&D Beyond and Roll20.
Okay. Do you have dice at home, or do you need to use the dice roller?
I have a 19.
Okay. All right. So the mask stays on.
Oh, thank goodness. I'd be so scared. I just never realized what you're doing.
Just see the mask and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, and also
He wants to see the person behind the mask. He's a curious child.
also my Janja, by the way, is like Jumanji.
Okay. Well, all right. So just remind me again later, but I'll try.
He's almost like Hanzo from Overwatch. He has these like just monk like clothing. He's got bandages all around his arm. It's all black. Black. You can only see his black ears poking out.
What is happening?
Michael is just holding his face and screaming, "The hell? Why? Why? Why always the face? I mean, I have to earn a living."
Ceravax comes around the corner. Ah, yes, I put in a requisition for an intern while Miss Kiara was on leave.
Like we're gonna have to babysit?
No, normally
No.
an intern is like an apprentice or a slave. This one just stabbed me in the face.
Interns
That's
are
just
considered highly disposable by Mr. Drawn. And with that, Ceravax just goes on about his business.
And so you said you were wearing like monk-like clothing, correct?
Like it goes down to the sleeve. It's kind of baggy towards the elbows,
Okay.
and towards.
Do you have like any
And
defining
it's
like,
got bolts
like
around
characteristics about it, or is it just cloth?
the hood.
Okay.
One big black figure,
Gotcha.
and only a mask, and it looks like a cat. The mask looks like a cat face.
So that explains why Frick wanted to take it off. Thank you.
You know,
After his last confrontation was a cat, he wanted to get rid of it.
That is a pretty fair point.
Yeah.
Black Panther masks, like whenever he was fighting or whatever. Yeah.
Or is it like Batman? You become the one thing you fear.
Thing John Cena does on that. I'll try and find a picture. See if you guys know.
Well, until then, Michael is bleeding, holding his face.
I lay hands on Michael for 5 hit points.
I mean, if
And
nobody else wants to make introductions, you have a quest.
And then
Right.
I
Well, I'm waiting for our intern to make the first move.
I think the first
Yeah.
move was stabbing Michael in the face.
I mean,
And
the
then I'm-
proper first move.
Michael, you're not bleeding anymore. Stop screeching.
went javelin at you, Trevor.
That's a really bad idea.
And why is that?
because I would win.
Your life's at stake right now. You've got
Really?
to your throat.
Really?
Michael is just looking at Trevor and just going, "Do it, just do it."
Roll
Knock him down
initiative
a
if you
peg.
need to, guys.
Okay.
My character's not set up yet. I don't have it.
This is why I told you need to have these things ready if you didn't fill out your sheet.
I'm trying right now,
Okay.
but I can't.
It looks like Trevor's going first anyway, so.
Oh yeah, I just. Oh yeah.
Word formation activate.
Okay. It's going to be Trevor, Jonga, Frick, and Michael.
That could not go any more perfect.
Just remember, the Frick can't be healed normally. He's technically a construct.
Oh.
Okay, but Trevor, you're up.
I just want to grab the javelin and like shove it back into their chest. Like, what are you doing? What is happening?
Okay, that sounds like more of a dex move on your part. You can add sleight of hand if you have any training there.
That's cute.
I didn't think you would, but okay. Jonga, go ahead and make a dex save to see if you avoid being. Yeah, you do not.
I was gonna say if you don't beat a 7, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be concerned.
Okay, Jonga, your turn.
What is happening? I'm so confused.
I'm gonna attack again with that.
Okay. As a monk, you get 2 attacks.
Okay, and 1d8, correct?
Well, does a 19 hit Trevor?
My thing says 7, so I mean 7. Says 20. Yes, it would. 20 is
Okay.
with my shield. I lied.
Okay, then yes, go ahead and roll the D8 and then roll your attack again. Because monks get 2 attacks.
Do it again.
You also need to add your dexterity modifier.
Okay,
Well, I didn't attack twice.
3.
Because you try to grab it, that's a different action. The
15.
attack. All right. Roll your attack a second time and add your dexterity modifier to your attack. So that 7 is plus what?
Oh.
No.
And
Attack
plus
is the D20. All right. What's your dex modifier?
Dex modifier is 4.
Okay, so that first attack is an 11 to you, Trevor. You take 11 points of stabbing. Now roll a second attack.
At my staff.
Yeah, that's with the javelin.
Yeah, I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, and I just whip her on the top of the head. I whack her.
Okay, well, roll the attack to see if you actually do hit the second time.
Oh.
I just want to know what's happening. Nobody's talking.
Okay, you miss with the second attack. Frick, it is your turn.
So this is how it's gonna go down. So fake Frick is gonna go up, and he's gonna feint an attack, and an effective help action. So he'll go up to 5 feet, fake an attack. As the real Frick is gonna go in, open palm, try to go in for a stunning strike.
Okay, I'm going to give you that at advantage because Frick is causing a distraction.
Yep. This is why I love help actions and allies, because this way it's like, hey, I don't need flanking to get advantage. I just need an ally to fake an attack so the real me can hit him.
Oh yeah, and okay, so Frick, roll your attack at advantage. Okay, yeah, that definitely hit. So roll damage, and what's is there a what kind of roll does Jonga need to make to avoid the stunning strike?
Trying to look that up right now. When you hit with a melee attack weapon, you can spend 1 key point to make a target stun until end of turn. So needs to make a con saving throw, DC 14.
Okay, Jonga, roll your con.
Oh.
And you,
So,
okay, you failed. And you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage, and now you're stunned until what is the end of Frick's next short turn?
this is until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
That's
Michael, it is your turn. Yeah, you take 12 damage,
Okay.
and it is now Michael's turn.
Yeah, this is gonna be bad because they've just left this person stunned.
Yeah.
So Michael is casting Eldritch Blast.
Okay, do that at advantage.
Mm-hmm.
3, and it because we're now level 12. It's 3 freaking blasts.
Okay, roll each one with advantage. That hit. That hit. Oh, and then there was a magical. Okay, you calculate all the damage. I'm going to find out what the one at that hit a critical did.
That is 3 plus 9 plus 18. So 12 plus 18 is 30. That's 30.
Junga, are you still up after that many hits?
I don't think so.
Okay, you knocked out the intern. Never mind what the damage card would have been. Jonga is now unconscious.
What just happened?
Intern attacked me.
Don't worry, we get this settled. And both Fricks would just pick arms and legs and just carry the intern off to a healing area.
I'm so confused.
You opened the box and a ninja attacked.
What kind of intern what?
That's the kind of intern that you have because the interns have an issue with not surviving long enough.
That's like a parcel from hell.
Speaking of hell,
Nobody in your bag. Where's my bag?
oh god.
Each
Okay, you guys can just leave her unconscious for 8 hours if you want, or him. Sorry, or the intern's unconscious. Do what you want with them.
Michael ties them up
Okay.
and hangs
Michael!
them.
Thank you, Mike.
It's-
What? They're an intern. It's not like as if. Well, yes, you are damaging somebody, but they stabbed me in the face
He poked you.
No,
with a spear.
I like sliced your cheek, I would say.
It's
Yes.
a javelin. It's not even sharp. You beat people to death with it. It's like a giant stick.
All this
What?
while Michael's on the tying, Fricks are on the healing.
The fact that you bled from a giant stick shows that you have really sensitive skin complexion.
Javelins actually are piercing weapons.
Yeah, I'm
Piercing,
sus.
not slashing. There's a difference.
Yeah, and he got poked in the face.
Yeah, the next time something long and pointy comes at your face, you can do whatever you want. This one came at mine.
That's 21 points of healing.
Okay, Jonga is now awake again.
And tied up.
Yes.
First question:
Tied up.
why?
Empty, right? My hands are behind my back like against a post or something.
You're
Oh, yeah,
hog
Michael,
tied.
how did you tie?
You are
You are
restrained, which means
You are-
that you will have to quite literally break the rope or something to get out of it.
Just to describe how you were tied up for this restraining as well. Your wrists are tied to your ankles and you are laying down on your stomach, so you have to lift your head up in order to talk.
Michael, do a dexterity check to see how well you tied. If your intelligence is better, I'll let you roll it with intelligence to see how to tie a knot.
It's Michael.
Sorry, Michael.
Would you think?
Whoever tie it, we haven't played in a month. Just roll a die to see how well you can tie a knot. Okay, that's a pretty decent knot.
Yeah.
I am not seeing Michael's rolls at all.
That's because for some reason they're going directly to the GM.
Yeah, there's a setting for that. So
Cheater, no. Hi, Bugaboo. What are you doing?
Okay.
There, now it's set to public.
Okay.
So,
Anyway,
so yeah.
Jonga is awake, hog-tied on the floor. Your weapon has been removed.
Why did you stab me in the face?
Because I don't know who you are.
I'm Frick.
You were
I'm
delivered
Frick.
in a box. And that's Frick and Frick 2, or that's Frick 2. I don't know.
We're Fricks.
I mean, that box is dark. I don't know anything. I don't know where I am. I don't know who.
Me too.
You expect me to be very considerate of new people. I have no
We are
idea.
in our home. Nice to meet you. Oh, wait, sorry, you're tied.
You're
Sorry. Didn't mean to be
Hey.
rude.
you're within the Acquisitions Incorporated headquarters of whatever
Sigil.
city this is. Sigil. Of Sigil.
As
The owner of this
Which-
franchise is Frick. I'm one of the managerial staff, you could say. You would have known what you're going in for in regards to this being an intern, right?
And yes,
They,
when
they didn't just
Jonga, when they
shut me-
put you in the box, they did tell you they were sending you, to fill in for a missing member.
just
This
give
is
me
a
a.
very weird day.
I've had enough.
Can we untie the poor thing now?
you're not gonna stab me in the face again, are you?
I might.
See,
Michael and
and for your information, I did attack Rick. Actually, that's who I said I was gonna attack. I
Well,
guess-
Michael was the one who opened the box.
Oh, okay.
So you attacked the first person who was in front of you.
Okay. So yeah,
Frick may be the intended target, but Michael took the blunt of that.
Michael tends to take the blunt of a lot of things.
So this was so in perspective, it could have been the first Lord assassination.
So Michael just unties Jenga and just shakes his head slowly and just goes, Don't do it again.
we'll see. Kind of rubs his wrist once he's untied.
My sharp pointy thing might be shorter, but it is definitely sharper.
Oh, and also, where's my weapon? Because
You
can I see it?
You see, you see Trevor.
Well, I'm going to hold out my hand. I'm not going to even touch it, and it comes right back to my hand. Piqued your
And-
interest.
And with that, Sarah Vax says, if you are ready, I have arranged a meeting with you with Sir Traxagor, who will facilitate your travel into the land of Avernus.
This
was
is a
this-
great group dynamic. We're perfectly ready for hell. Let's go.
You just see
Trevor.
the Fricks just join arms and just prance down to the meeting.
One of the Fricks is required to stay here and man the brewing.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
The
Rock,
non-squishy one stays here.
Yes, the
squishy one
construct
comes with us.
Frick should stay here.
This is Michael actually says this. The non-squishy one stays here. The squishy one comes with us.
You just see just the Fricks just
Well-
sadly embrace before departing.
Yes, the construct, the simulacrum Frick, is actually, will obey Saravax's orders, being his creator and all. He's friendly to you, and he does have Frick's personality,
Yes.
but he only has half of Frick's health.
Yeah.
Okay, so Frick and Frick embrace, and then
Not a
you-
common sentence to say out loud.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I knew what I was getting into when I offered this. I mean, it's sort of like you know some of what's going to happen, but then you start the fire and you see what happens. I don't know what's going to burn down, but something's going to be in flames. Okay. And with that, it will take you actually a couple of days to get to Traxagor's tower. It is on the material plane, so you do have to travel past the city known as Baldur's Gate, which is got a whole mess of chaos as a bunch of refugees are currently trying to get into the city. Uh, it's a mess. When you talk to some people about it, you find out that all of the refugees were from the city of Ancherel. Trevor, that's the one you saw in your visions, is gone. It just vanished off the map one day. And everybody's trying to get into Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate's freaking out because they think that they're next. Their city is going to vanish. And let's just say that followers of the Dead 3 are having a field day inside that city. But that's kind of their problem because, you guys, you're passing on by. So everybody gets your health back and everything because you've had a couple days to rest. Then finally, you have to actually get a ride on some griffins to get to Traxagor's tower. So,
Sick.
uh, Tiberius has some odd, he's going around really inspecting the larger griffins, but then he gets to sit on one's head and he seems happy. So
Since we have to fly and stuff, I'm saying stabled somewhere.
you can pop him into your pocket dimension, which you do have now.
I have a pocket dimension. When did I get a pocket dimension?
We got a pocket dimension because Michael's been managing some of the group funds, and he's helped pay for development.
So,
I don't really want to take him to Avernus anyways.
Okay, that's fine. Fang can stay back in Sigil
Fang can have a
because
vacation.
him and Sarah Vax have conversations.
That worries me.
Anyway, so you're flying out over the ocean. Traxagor's tower just sort of floats above the ocean because, like many wizards who do a lot of experiments, he's far away from civilization. So you get there and you knock on the door. I imagine it's Frick knocking,
Oh yeah.
which means it keeps up. And finally, the door opens, and you look, and there's someone there. Your eyes go down, and there's an otter in a wizard's hat. Oh, hello.
Is this telepathy? Is it telepathy?
No, he's speaking.
Okay.
Michael just looks over the otter and goes, "Sir, are you the owner of the tower?"
Yes, I am the Archmage Traxtor. It's good to meet you. You must be the group from Acquisitions Inc. Saravax has facilitated. He got a hold to me. It's good to meet you. Come in. Lulu, did you find that fork? I need that so that we can get these fine people to hell, which is the oddest statement I've had to make in about an hour.
What type of fork do you need? Michael starts rummaging through his
Oh
bag.
no, it's a tuning fork that was made in Avernus. It lets me open up the pathway when I cast plane shift to get us all there. And you hear some rummaging around. He's just looking through piles, and you don't hear who he just starts yelling out like, well, it very well could have wandered off by itself. It wouldn't be the first time something around here did. You don't hear anybody replying to him, though.
I just kind of lean over to Michael. Is this really a good idea?
Yes, it is the greatest idea that we've had.
Is it though?
Yes, it is.
We have a way to get back, right?
He just motions towards the Archmage.
Who is presently, let's see what he just throw past over his shoulder. an empty snuff box just sort of bounces off the wall. It has the inscription "Dreams" on it. And after a couple of minutes of all of this, there finally comes bouncing in is a um, a gold elephant, and I am going to drop a quick. Well, I've got her image up here. Where is she? Ah, I'm gonna make her larger on the screen. This comes flying in.
Looks like a snuffleupagus.
And
Michael just goes to pick up the snuff box, closes it, and as that thing comes flying in, he hands up the snuff box and goes, "Here, Pandora, hold this for me. It's filled with my hope."
and the elephant sort of looks at you, and you hear, you can all hear in your head now. It's like, my name's not Pandora. My name is Lulu. Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Lulu.
And then she kind of flies over to Traxagor. It's like, here, I found this, and he's like, oh, good, the tuning fork. Oh, and for one thing, I want to say, what were the rest of you guys doing while the searching was going on? Just standing there staring?
Yes.
No, Michael was trying to. If there was random stuff that was thrown about that looked valuable and like don't break, Michael was trying to catch it.
It's kind of hard to tell in a wizard tower what is actually valuable and what is just random. But Jonga, you heard a different voice in your head, and it is so if you want to go looking for that, let me know. But it just says, hey, you're going to hell, right? You're going to need me. I can help you.
Is that Pipkip?
No, but he is with you. He's in his raven form. Jonga, do you want to answer this voice? Katie, are you there?
Oh, sorry. I'm not really.
Okay, I'm gonna take that as I'm not really, as you're not here, and next time you're going to ignore the random voice. So, do you care about this voice in your head?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'm not really affected. I'm not.
Well, I mean, it's not like trying to well, I mean, it's trying to influence you, but it's not magical influence. It's just talking to you.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna say I'm gonna ignore it.
Well, if you want to go and look for it, I'm going to show you what is talking. You find this shield is speaking to you. It's like, look, I can help you out. I know my way around hell. You're going to need a guide.
Why would I want help?
I can barely hear you. And I got you turned up.
Shield. I said, why would I want help from a shield?
Well, for one thing, I'm talking inside your head. That should imply I'm not just a shield. I am.
I'm making it funny. Like I'm mocking him. I don't know. I'm insulting him. I don't know.
Yeah, and he's just trying to explain. I am the hidden lord. I am trapped inside this shield, but I can help you. Just bring me along.
Why would we want you? Why would I want you? Ugh.
Well, let's see. For starters, I know my way around hell. Secondly, if you attune to me, I have power. I can grant you some of that power.
I've got enough of that.
Do we just see her staring at this shield?
Yeah.
Basically, she has to speak back to it. So.
Oh, I mean, like I'm saying to you what I would say to the shield, but it's really telepathy.
Well, you don't have telepathy. You have to actually whisper this back to the shield.
Oh, that's gonna make me crazy. I'm not crazy.
Okay, so when he gets tired of talking to her, or to him, it'd be like, Michael, you start hearing the voice in your head. Hey, you use a shield, and you're going to need a guide around hell.
Michael looks to Pip Kip and he goes, "Do you hear that?"
Pip goes, oh, hold on a minute, let me. And then he just looks at the shield, and they seem to be having a telepathic communication. And
What is happening?
you hear Trax go, oh, yes, the Shield of the Hidden Lord. He's been wanting to get to hell for a while, but I really wasn't heading there myself. And he's still this is during the time when he's looking. Pip's like,
Well,
oh, yeah, he can help us.
Michael picks up the shield.
Okay.
I sure.
I will send you the stats through D&D Beyond. You don't actually have to attune to it, but he can, just having him with you means that he can talk, he can see. There is a presence inside of the shield. And
Why are we messing? Didn't we already learn about messing with magic items that talk to you?
during this,
Michael looks to Pip Kip and goes, "Could you explain to them? Because I'm actually trusting you on this."
Pip just turns to you and says, he can help us.
Yeah, that doesn't make me feel better. It's a shield that's very nicely crafted, but also creepy looking, that wants to go to hell.
And
For
then
some
you hear the
reason,
voice
we
in your
have to go
head,
to hell.
look, I can't help how someone carved the shield. I am the hidden lord. This
And
is
that's-
not my true form.
Stop talking. See, then that's what worries me. Why
Okay.
are we taking something that wants to go to hell? Explain
Well, you want to
that
go to
logic
hell.
me.
Frick who like
Not
raises his
willingly, but I
hand and
kind
like
of.
Like,
What?
so you want to go to hell, but you don't want a guide in hell? And Pip's like, yeah, I haven't been there in like 90 years. It might have changed a little bit since I was there. Oh, and I won't be there to guide you because I have to go and meet up with somebody.
Michael just asks,
Traxagor says, oh, yes, oh, that reminds me, the map. And he goes and gets a map.
Michael looks to Pip Kip and goes, "Okay, explain who the Hidden Lord is, because I'm still taking the shield either way because that's,
well, Michael,
you know,
if we
Pip's
knew
like,
about the- if
okay,
we knew
who
about
are
the
you?
hidden Lord, then he wouldn't be hidden.
I was like, I don't know him personally. He just said he's the hidden lord and he knows his way around hell.
Nope, I don't know anything.
Traxagor will, yes, it's a sentient shield. From what, and he's going through some notes. Let's see. Oh, it represents good triumph over evil when they trap the evil spirit inside of it. His notes are not really complete. He hasn't spent a lot of time with it.
They trapped evil spirit inside of the shield?
Yes, that seems to be. He's still just kind of, looking through. Yeah, let's see. He pulls out some paperwork on it. The shield is a symbol of God's triumph over evil. Gazing on such. Somebody would really wrote a lot of flowery stuff about this. Let's see. Yes, the shield. A pit fiend sent by Asmodeus to corrupt mortals on the material plane. He became something of a demigod. Then they trapped him inside.
Michael, put it down.
And Michael, he's like, look, yes, I am a pit fiend. That means I know my way around, and I can share my power with you. I can share my knowledge with you. You're going to need these things. I will serve you faithfully as guide and advisor. Just bring me back.
Are you still talking to the shield, or are you just completely ignoring me at this point?
I'm still talking to the shield." Michael's just like,
Frick,
We put 'em in
they're
the-
gonna hand you a map of Avernus, and I'm gonna bring that up on the page, and I will send you the actual link if you need it to the picture. Uh, and he is going to warn you that the cartographer went just a little bit insane while drawing this map, but this is a map of Avernus. And guys, I've tried to make it where you can adjust this. This pen, you should be able to edit it. I hope you can make copies of it. You can use it to label locations as you find them. And Traxador's like, okay, so are you ready? I suppose you can take the shield with you if you care to. He's kind of doesn't really have much to do around here.
All right. If we take you, you aren't going to try and steal our souls. You aren't going to try and screw with us in some other way. We're taking you. If you manage to get released, you are not going to try and destroy the entirety of the universe. Is this?
No, I have no desire to destroy the universe. I will advise you. I can see, I can speak languages, I can translate things for you. And if you do attune to me, then you can gain some additional power.
I won't be attuning to you.
Just bring me with you then, because I still have my true sight. I can still hear, and I speak almost all languages.
All right, that's good then. All right, Michael straps him onto his back and goes, "We're taking the pit."
No. If we're taking it, I'm.
If we're taking it, you're what?
If we're taking the shield that talks to people and wants to go to hell, I'll carry it. There's no offense,
Yeah,
Michael. Dark Beans that I've been talking to you really has not gone well in your past. Just saying.
Only if I have listened to them.
You're
when
listening
not
to it
thinking
now.
No,
You're not thinking
when
about
not-
it now.
I actually am. Hence the
Are
entire. Yes,
Really?
yes, I am. Yes, I am.
You're
Okay.
my friend, but I don't believe you.
I'm going to send the link that has the map to Avernus, because it's not letting me post the picture. It's too high. But I can get it to you later on if you need it. But you now have the map of Avernus. You have the Shield of the Hidden Lord. And Lulu would also like to join you.
Michael looks to the Archmage. Is this okay with you?
Oh, yes, Lulu, well, she can't remember everything, but Lulu's, back in your head, and she's, broadcasting everyone. Oh, yes, I remember I was in hell for a little while. I went there with my friend, and I lost her, and I don't really remember, but I'm hoping that if I go back, I will find my friend.
Do you remember what your friend looked like and what their name was?
Oh, yes, her name was Zariel, and she was a beautiful angel.
Michael just goes, "You're coming with."
Yay!
Because he's just like, "Zariel, I know that name. Oh, beautiful angel. Oh,
Yeah. It's like I was there
Yeah,
because we
you're
went there. I remember that we went there with a lot of people, and then there's just a little bit of sadness, like and then I lost Zariel, but anyway, she would very much like to join you all on your trip.
I'm just gonna look up, like, anything else?
Michael just leans in to Trevor and whispers in Trevor's ear. Zariel's one of the Lords of Hell.
No shit!
Okay, I found her whole thing here. Sorry, I'm flipping through so many different tabs. Yeah, I was with the angel Zariel when she assembled her army of Hell Riders to attack Avernus. We went through the gate, tearing through devils with a song through the air. Victory was within our grasp, and then some of the Hell Riders betrayed us, and they retreated back through the gate. And they sealed it behind them. Zariel, she told me to hide her sword before she was captured, so it wouldn't fall into the hands of evil. And someone helped me to hide the sword, but I don't remember who. And we found a place to hide it, but I don't remember where. Well, and then I escaped Avernus, but I don't remember how. Most of my memories are gone, and I can't remember why.
Anything else? No?
Traxigor
Okay.
holds up a tuning fork. Well, I am ready when you are. Lulu, I am so glad that you're finally going to get a chance to go and meet your friend again. Is everybody ready? I will cast the plane shift spell.
Michael, you know that dream that I told you about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, world destroying things tend to happen around us. You having that dream, us having a bit of knowledge, us trying to do something right, might actually prevent that. Or it might just be that the city's already in hell and we might be able to rescue. Think on the positive.
Well, everyone, you all kind of gather in the circle as Traxador, directs you. He taps the tuning fork on the floor, and he casts the plane shift spell. And the world goes white, and then, well, the map on the screen right now is sort of what you see. You appear inside of a, a wrecked city. The buildings are crumbling around you. The ground shakes beneath your feet. A hot, stirring air assaults your senses. The city street which you stand on is lined with buildings that are crumbled, if not already collapsed. The ground shudders beneath your feet. The red, smoky sky, 400-foot diameter sphere of darkness, is discharging lightning of bluish white striking the ground at irregular intervals. Perched atop a distant bluff overlooking the rest of the city is a crumbled fortress. Traxador gazes at the black orb nervously. He utters a few arcane syllables, and then he's gone. All right.
So,
Trevor, this
Right.
what the buildings around you, they and that orb in the sky, that is kind of like your earlier vision, where it was like very nice and then became very very bad.
Mm.
You are actually standing on Enterrail right now. That's the
Okay.
city. There aren't too many people, but every now and then you do see, like some devils. They may or may not be chasing people, and you can see the edge of the city. You're floating in the sky. If you care to look at the over the edge, you'll see that the city is chained to Avernus right now. Giant barbed chains are linking the city to the ground. Lulu, when she gets there, suddenly begins to have a radiant aura glow around her, about 10 feet around her. And she's like, "Oh, I have magic!" And she can cast light.
Michael just slowly looks around and goes, "Yeah, this is. Yeah. So, where shall we begin?"
Well,
I just put up a.
what looks good to you?
I love that you already had that. I just put up a link that's a map to the city of Ontario. Pips, kind of like, takes a deep breath, smelling the sulfur in the air. It's like, okay, well, I am going to go, make those arrangements for you, Michael. I'll meet up with you guys. Let's call it about 48 hours at the Wandering Emporium. See you then. And he vanishes. Oh, wait a minute. He comes back. I almost forgot. A few things. Michael, don't get killed. Trevor,
I
don't get caught. In fact, Frick should probably be in charge of everything because he's the one of you. Oh, and if Rihanna, whenever she comes back, tell her don't piss anybody off. Okay,
Good
bye.
luck with that.
And then he's gone again.
Michael just looks to everybody and goes, "Yeah, it's kind of scary when Pip Kip is possibly the one who looks at us all and can evaluate us quite quickly. But still, I think he's right. I'm gonna shut up now. Trevor, I'm gonna hide you as best as I can. And
I'm
Frick,
taller
you're
than
in
you.
char- Don't make me stuff you in my bag."
And Lulu is, just kind of looking around. It's something between horror and amazement. It's like, I remember a place called Fort Knucklebone.
That sounds
Or-
fantastic.
I thought you were gonna say Fortnite.
Okay, so you guys can, do
All right,
some
Lord Frick.
exploring, or in the city, or you can head straight down.
Lord Frick, you're the one in charge.
Well,
I say as I make sure my-
without proper provisions or anything like that, so it's best to go through the ways of the city. Because,
Probably a good idea.
as you can see, what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, looks great.
I know it's amazing. You see, the ways of the map, the decor, everything is quite top notch, if I say.
Is it actually shifting with the change in tides of the lava flows as well? That's amazing, man.
Oh, that's lava? I thought it was blood.
It could be either
Let's
one.
not question that.
The red is mostly the river Styx,
Well, that's even worse.
and the shield, the hidden lord, will say the map is at best a rough guide. The landscape of Avernus is ever changing. You remember how he told you that the cartographer went insane? That's because no one can accurately map this region.
Oh, man. Alright, well, I agree with Frick. Let's try to get our bearings.
You are about 400 feet above the city. The city is about 400 feet above the rest of the plain. So you can look around, and I will let everybody make a survival check to see, if you can find any land posts.
+0, I got it. Yeah.
As soon as we get there, I'm just burning up. I'm starting to. You can just start to hear Janja almost like breathe heavily.
Yeah, I'd say that's fairly accurate survival checks.
Yeah, that's what Janja would normally do.
Because of the distance down, you got a few options. You can try to climb down the long chains. If you have enough magic, you can try to fly. Lulu can fly, but she's not big enough to carry anybody.
Michael pulls out from his bag of jewel a lute and sort of holds it quite gently to himself while he looks around at everybody. Can anybody see a ladder up? Otherwise,
There's just the chains.
I look over.
When you gaze down, you see thousands of demons gathering around the chains because they see a free meal, and then you see the devils responding to them. A battle is about to break out directly beneath you.
Let's get the.
This
You also have a broom of flying, guys. Don't forget that.
Michael sticks as many people as he can onto the broom of flying, and then he readies the loot himself, and he just goes, "Let's get up to the city now."
I thought we were at the city.
You need to
start-
get down off the city unless you want to explore the city.
I'll start
Lulu, I'm sorry.
It's putting me on the broom. I'm trying to resist everything he's got.
Well,
And
you can stay. I mean, they can't force you to stay on the broom. You can jump. You have slow fall, which might work about half the way down.
Oh, I thought we weren't in the city. I thought we were like looking
You're on
at
this.
the
Well,
city.
the city of Ontarel is above Avernus, like 400 feet in the air above Avernus.
and look at my
Okay.
equipment. Hey, Andy, look at my equipment. The first thing. Would that work?
Well, I don't see your equipment. Tell me what it is.
No, okay. So don't do the flying broom thing because I thought that we were actually like below the city of Atriel, not
Well,
in
you're
Atriel.
standing on it. If you use the broom to fly, you can fly. And if you're referring to your ring specifies that it only works on things that aren't being worn or carried. I'm going to rule that does not allow you to move a body.
Okay.
You can only move inanimate objects with that one.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right, so Michael looks around and goes, "Yeah, let's hurry to the city hall. Let's get there now."
Okay. I'm going to say that if you guys want to use the broom and the loot to cast fly, Michael can carry one person, and then 2 people can ride on the broom.
I feel like though we shouldn't start making ourselves very conspicuous. A bunch
Well,
of flying people is gonna look a little suspicious.
This is a
there's
city.
already flying creatures. And most of the ones that are down on the ground, they're kind of focused on fighting each other.
Yeah, and plus incognito is impossible here.
I mean, that there
Because
are
we are all
demons
invisible.
and devils with wings. You even see some wyverns flying around. And the whole land is like in a perpetual dusk. It's like the sun is trying to set, but there's no actual sun. So there is no day and night cycles here. You can see well enough.
It's at this point that if Trevor does say, "I'm trying to be inconspicuous when it comes to walking around," or at least inconspicuous while in response to flying around on a broom, Michael is going to point out and say, "We are on a flying city above Avernus, and how much more inconspicuous can you not be?" Sorry. I think if we're going to save the city, expedience is something. Hello?
I'm following.
Okay, so you're flying.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case,
Wait me really.
well,
Why?
Junga, you can stay with the devils and the demons that are trying to get into the city. It's totally up to you. You can stay, but the rest of the party's leaving.
I don't want to be in hell by myself. Okay, I'm
Yeah, I kind of
Why?
figured. So, that's the fun thing about playing a less than sociable character. This is a social game. So, you all take off. It won't be too hard for you guys to eventually get to the ground. You can see, like I said, there's about to be a fight. The closer you get to the ground, you start noticing other things. Occasionally, you hear hanging around Tink and Bugger's workshop. You're familiar with some of the magical mechanical things that they built. So you when you see these large metallic carts go roaring around, even this looks like something that even Bugger's most demented creation pales in comparison to these infernal war engines.
I thought we were heading to the city hall of El Turiel.
You're already on trail. Do you want to stay in the city and try to walk around and talk to people, or do you want to go to Avernus? Avernus is below you.
All right, just to clarify with the group, which where are we going? Avernus or to the city hall of Eltro?
Lulu votes for finding Fort Knucklebone. She remembers she had friends there.
Fort Knucklebone. I don't know if we should.
Oh, because I remember I had friends there. They can help us.
I say Fort Knucklebone. What does everybody else say?
Anywhere but the air. Anywhere but the air.
The fort.
Let's go to the fort.
Okay.
Okay. If your friends are still there, we'll grab them, and then we'll take you. We'll take you all to go see Zariel, and hopefully we can get this all sorted out. That
Or we don't go to an Archduke of Hell. Just saying.
Yeah.
where does Zariel?
Because I remember that the devils, when they got Zariel, there was a reason she sent me away. Was there a reason she sent me away? There's a reason why. I mean, I was hiding the sword, and then Lulu kind of gets lost in her lost memories. But the one thing she's positive about is that Fort Knucklebone had friends.
Okay, so we'll go there and then maybe we'll figure out a plan instead of going around without thinking.
Okay.
All right. You don't see Fort Knucklebone on the map, and she's not 100% sure where it was. But, I'm sure that won't be much of a problem. You guys just want to pick a random direction and start walking?
I just kind of tap the shield.
Yeah.
Know where Fort Knucklebone might be from here?
We're probably going to need to check a little bit of help. Because, again, the landscape changes. Follow some of those war engines.
Following the war engines.
Okay.
Michael's gonna try and do this as stealthily as he can.
Do you actually want to walk slower just so you're not seen in the crumbling wasteland that was once... Actually, I'm going to say now that you're here, you can almost see that parts of the city must have been wonderful once. Like you'll find a bit of a statue that was really well made. The crumbling buildings look like they were probably beautiful, before centuries of war demolished them all. You can keep moving slowly, but you don't see anyone directly around you. There's the occasional being that's flying by. You can follow the river Styx, which is obviously the biggest landmark.
I was thinking more from the point of view of the shield told us to follow some of the war engines. How do we do that? Like, let's do that stealth.
Yeah, I mean they go by really fast. You could probably send some of the faster people, because a war engine has the speed of like 100 feet of movement. So they go by pretty fast. But you can head in the direction you saw them heading in.
Shall we do that, guys?
Sounds good.
Okay. Do you want to do anything as you're traveling? Any conversations?
I'll be playing my flute, or my lute, whatever I have. I think it's lute? No, it's flute. Okay. Flute, lute, whatever. Okay. Yeah, I pull on my flute and I start trying to calm myself.
Okay.
Because the air frightens me.
Yes, that's a reasonable thing. So...
Michael will try to hide the glowing elephant as best as he can.
Yeah, that's honestly kind of hard to do. she can turn off the aura, but she says that it protects her.
All right, let's not turn off the aura, but at least let's try to.
Yeah, because
Proximity, are we all on the broom? I don't know.
if you just want to be somewhere, I will say you could all land. We're gonna say right here where the red pin is. Feel free to move that around. Uh, yeah, she's just got, like I said, this. It's called the Aura of Invulnerability, and it will protect her from a lot of outside magic. In fact, anyone who's within the 10-foot radius might be protected, but that means you all have to kind of gather around her. She can fly pretty fast, though.
I'm about to just snatch her out of the air and just keep her right next to me. I don't care.
Do you want to make a roll for that?
Oh, but if I was that evil, I would.
She's small, so you can hold her, but she can also, hover above you. You can't ride on her. She's not that big.
Yeah. Nah, I won't do anything to her.
But she's fairly excited to be here again. She's like, I just remember they were really nice over at Fort Knucklebone, and she's doing her best to look around. So, you just want to, like I said, head in the direction you saw some of those hell engines riding towards? Or do you... Because, Michael, remember you had some other things, unless you just want to completely abandon your jobs for rule of 3.
No, I do want to hit up the river Styx real fast and grab those vials. So if everybody wants to, if everybody's okay with me grabbing some water from the river Styx before we go off to this, before we head off towards the
Fort Knucklebone.
Fort Knucklebone. Is everybody okay with that?
Sure.
Okay, so I forget. I think it was like 3 bottles. So
3 vials.
3 vials.
3 vials of water.
No, it was 3 bottles,
vials
and it was 3 vials of blood from a celestial.
And I'm just there, still playing my flute.
Okay. So you just are you going to try to hold like all the bottles at once? Just tell me how you're going about collecting it, just so I'll know.
Michael holds all of 3 bottles. Does it 1 bottle at a time as quickly as possible to get them full. He just grabs it, holds it by the neck and the bottom of the bottle, dives this thing down into the water.
I want a dexterity check to try to hold all the bottles at once, just to see if you drop any. Okay, yeah, you drop 2 of the bottles. And now make a, let's call it a Constitution check. This will be a Constitution save. Okay, you are now feeble-minded. You have an intelligence of 1. You're a charisma of 1. You can't cast spells, understand language, or communicate in any intelligible way. You do know who your friends are, but you are now a simpleton.
Yeah, you know.
Is there any difference from how I normally am?
You can't speak anymore. You don't understand language. You only know who your friends are and that you should protect them. Other than that, you're a moron.
And for a bard, for your charisma to be 1, it is your worst nightmare.
I know. I was trying to make light of the situation. I can't do anything.
Sorry.
Mike was muted, but I said while I was muted, Michael, if you fail this, I'm gonna punch you again.
Well, I want to know why I suddenly went from doing it 1 at a time to suddenly doing all 3 at once.
Yeah, because you said I heard you say you were doing all of them. You were dunking them all in at once to get them fast.
No. I said I was doing it 1 at a time.
Okay, then my apologies. You don't drop the bottles, but you still stuck your hand in the river Styx.
Yeah, so I am still feeble-minded.
Yes,
I'm
and you
like,
also take 14 points of psychic damage.
Ooh, ugly. You ugly.
So, yeah, you guys now have a simpleton Michael who is kind of staring at you all blankly.
I just like wave my hand in front of his face.
Michael,
there's like
you can probably wave back.
there's a very slow, like goofy grin and a wave.
That's pretty
Oh,
normal
great.
for him. Like, oh no, Lulu says, telepathically. Even the shield was like, yeah, river Styx, don't touch that.
Well, it's a little late for that now, Miss Shieldy Eye, but
Hey,
thanks.
it's not my fault that you guys just ran and dove into the river. I thought that you did some research when you came here.
Yeah, me too.
I'll just say, oh, shut up, shield. I don't even know.
Hey, I told you I would advise you. You actually had to ask my advice. When you... Nobody told... You didn't tell me you were planning on drinking out of the river. Who does that? Well, I mean, actually, it's a pretty effective weapon, so I guess I can understand why, but, you know... And then there are the people who try to get the silt from the bottom of the Raven Queen. But, they usually do something to protect themselves. That's why we dunk Lemurs in there, is to, blank them out so that they're more useful to us. And it's this time you
Good
kind
to
of
know.
see a blobby creature crawling out. Uh,
Ugh.
yeah, that's a lemur. They are the well, they're nothing really. Don't worry about them. So,
I look at Frick.
I look back.
oh, I love you guys. By the way, you're so much fun.
I just like pat him on the shoulder. It was good knowing you, buddy.
It was like, maybe my friends at Fort Knucklebone can help us out.
I hope so.
So as well.
Okay, I'm gonna go and see if I can find anything. She flies up into the air.
Be careful, please.
I will. Well, she doesn't have to yell at you, hear it in her head.
I guess.
They're loud, you know?
Hmm?
Wouldn't that be loud if she was yelling?
Well, no, she speaks with telepathy, so she doesn't have to yell.
Oh, I was about to say, if she's yelling while it's...
No,
talking.
she
No need
she
to yell.
speaks celestial, but she can speak telepathically, and you can understand her.
Okay.
It's basically magical headphones.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as long as she's within 120 feet, she can speak to you telepathically.
I mean, I do know what telepathy is, but anyways.
Well, I was telling you her range. Okay, so you guys will have to guide Michael around, and you can use him like a shield. He still has his armor and his defenses, but he can't speak. He won't know left from right. You could walk him into the river, and he'd probably just stand there and drown right now.
So we'll probably just put a leash on him and like tie him to Frick's belt or something.
Is he... sitting on-
You get a plot point for that one. Yeah, he's Well, Michael, I'm going to say this: you recognize your friends. Janga did stab you at the very beginning,
No.
so take that however you want. And Lulu is like, "Hey, I see some of the dust trails from those big, loud cart thingies this way," and she starts to kind of lead you off in a direction.
Me as the player,
Don't get too far or too high.
She stays where close enough that if something happens, she's going to be able to get right there.
Okay. Because she's like a giant, glowing celestial beast.
Small.
No,
She's
not giant,
Yeah.
but she's still a,
she's a 10-foot light ball around her.
in hell.
Yes.
Speaking of which, we're in hell. Isn't it really fucking hot right now?
It is warm, and
Okay.
none of you have resistance to heat, so after about an hour, I need Constitution saves from everybody.
Kind of good at those.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Why do I?
Scared. Oh.
So it's hot.
Yes. Frick,
Ow.
you
Good job, Frick.
it's warm, but you are used. You have the constant. You carry right on through. Everyone else
You
has
was
one
warm,
level
you
of
was-
exhaustion.
You was smart. I'm sorry.
Well, everyone's like if sweating. I'm just like dabbing like my water skin on my forehead.
Yeah. He has trained under some really harsh conditions, and but the rest of you have one level of exhaustion. That means that your ability checks are now at disadvantage, but that's all. You can keep riding. I'm going to say that every now and then you do see some of these vehicles that go near. Well, not like headed for you, but if you want to try and flag someone down, I'll let you make an attempt. You think that it could be another hour's walk before you get to Fort Knucklebone.
I feel like we should try to not get other creatures' attention.
Okay. I will go ahead.
Anybody else or just me?
I can't give feedback on this.
That is
I am
actually a very fair
simpleton.
point. That is. We're gonna. I'm gonna be merciful, and I will let you guys not. Go ahead and make it before the next level of exhaustion. For the next time you have to make that roll, because I can be not horrible all the time.
The
So
bird disagrees.
yeah.
Don't just die.
Yeah, everybody make another Constitution roll. The bird's right. I should do this right.
Ah!
Okay, Trevor, you've only got one. You're basically gonna have to carry Michael at this point. He's walking slower. Frick is perfectly fine. Jonga and Michael. Jonga has 2 levels of exhaustion. I will pull up what that does because we've never needed exhaustion before.
I think its attack rolls are at disadvantage.
That's right. But Michael, we're going to say he's got 3 levels. It's going to take quite a bit of sleep for him to work that off.
First level is disadvantage on ability checks.
Uh-huh.
Second level is speed is halved.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So you guys are all walking pretty slow now. But, you're dripping with sweat. You do have your normal amount of rations on you. But, you're there. Yeah, what is the 3rd level? You got it up. I don't.
Let's see.
I can pull it up, but I've got so many damn tabs. I was not prepared.
Third level is disadvantage on attack rolls. Save throw.
Okay, so the rest of you are walking slow. Michael will have trouble with attacks.
I'm
But-
walking normally though, so.
No, you're walking slow because you have
I
2
mean,
levels.
I mean, I'm walking like 35.
Yeah, but that's still slow for you.
Yeah.
So you get up to Fort Knucklebone, and I do have a little bit of a diagram for that. I'm going to pull that up for you. So
cold in there.
you come across these tall walls that are just built out of detritus, metal bits. There's a lot of everything. Frick is just walking along with a spring in his step. He's fine. Nothing slows him down.
Map in hand.
Like it, and the rest of you, you're getting there, but you're just drenched in sweat at this point.
Why am I wearing heavy metal armor?
Yep, pretty much. So you get there, and there's these tall walls, and here's the description: a fortified compound sits to the top a low plateau that rises out of a crater-pocked landscape. At the center of the compound is a hill of rust-colored stone that resembles a hand clawing out of the ground, with gaps between the fingers. A jagged wall made of rock, bone, and metal debris surrounds the hand-shaped hill. Other highlights visible from the distance include a gatehouse atop which a half dozen small figures watch. So as you get closer, you see, you guys know what red caps look like because you've met them before. A couple of them pop their head up from the gatehouse. What's the password?
Oh, great.
Is that the password? I don't know. Didn't we just change the password? Did anybody write the password down? Yes, I wrote it down. Okay, what is it? I can't read. They're going to continue this kind of back and forth for a couple of minutes.
What are these things?
These are red caps. They are small. You met them in the Feywild. They have red caps that they actually dip in the blood of their victims. They're small, evil Fey. They love to kill people.
Here's an image.
Yeah, in fact, that's the guys right around the gate here. And yes, that's a red cap.
This is a charming place.
Yeah. So, they're kind of looking at you like they're, expecting you to say something.
I'd like to do an attempt persuasion.
Okay.
Telling them that the password is lava beats all.
Can I assist him to give him advantage?
Yes, go ahead and make that roll.
Wait, what is it again? What were you saying the password is?
I'm persuading them that the password is lava beats all.
Oh,
Okay. Make your persuasion roll, Frick. Oh, okay. And so, how do you say it? In your Frick voice, please.
Oh, just like while they're arguing.
Yeah.
The password is lava beats all.
And they all stop talking, and they look at you. They're quiet for a second, and we don't have a password. And they think this is the funniest thing ever.
I join in. Frick joins in the laughter.
Trevor just face palms.
They're like,
me too.
what do you want? What do you want? They are not bright at all. No, they're kind of stupid. You ain't devils. What do you want?
I look up for Lulu.
Lulu is a little bit behind you at this point.
Frick just grabs Michael by hand and just kind of hoists him up. Our friend is in trouble. Make contact with River. You help?
Yeah.
It's so weird. 'Cause I say that too. I was gonna say I'm gonna take Michael by the hand or something and just say he needs help.
So we're just dangling Michael.
Like a little child. It's like I'm back and
So
forth.
what you're saying is you don't need him anymore. We could use him for spare parts.
No, not that kind of help.
He needs mental.
They just kind of stand there, fingering their blades. And finally, like, well, what are you guys standing out there for? Come on in. And they finally open up the gates.
This seems like Lulu. Is this a good idea?
Oh, I don't know these guys, but they did just tell us to come on in. And yes, the gates are opening. The red caps just think it's so funny, messing with you.
They're like, they laugh like a bird, I bet.
Do you remember the names of your friends?
And she starts looking around, and over to the side here, you see a couple of Kinku who are working on some things, and she just starts flying straight in their direction because the Kinku have turned around at all this commotion, and they start to wave at you, and they're actually like wait there type of waving as they come over, and you hear one of them saying, What a deal! Patience is a virtue. Can't keep the boss waiting. And the smaller one of them runs off. A couple of minutes later, you.
Andy,
Yes,
can I make an insight check on the situation?
sure.
Just to see if this is probably another really stupid thing or if we might be okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry, there's just so much to describe. Okay.
Yay!
Thanks, Lord.
You remember red caps are murderous little murder machines. So, don't turn your back on them. But the Kinku that just ran off, they're a little bit harder to read, but he really did seem like, he was going to go get somebody in charge to talk to you. He seemed very excited to see Lulu, and there's nothing missing in the stance of the one standing there, watching you. He is larger, and he's got like a warhammer that has like red veins around it, but he's not making any aggressive movements. And the red caps, they were just screwing with you because they could.
Okay.
So, okay.
I'm gonna make sure Lulu stays close to me.
That's probably not a bad idea. A couple of minutes later, the Kenku comes back. With him is a tall creature wearing a tattered cloth shift. Is covered in mud, blood, mold, and things probably much, much worse. And the hag's eyes seem to move independently of each other.
Is it a gibbering mouth?
No, not yet anyway. But the night hag, coming up, eyes are looking each way, straggly brown hair hanging in front of them, and resting on each of her shoulders is a red-eyed raven that are staring at you, and behind her is a large creature, like a hulking creature that seems to be built out of different fiendish parts. It kind of is following with a limping, moaning as it walks type of motion. Finally, both of the hag's eyes focus on you guys, and then on Lulu. Like, my goodness! Where did you find such a treasure? Well, don't all you speak up at once.
The frick is this basically horrified.
Pretty much.
That is a fair. That is fair. I'm going to see if I can share a picture for those of you who
I'm just
don't.
I'm just gonna say to Lulu quietly, was this one of your friends?
Well, I kind of remember the Kinku, the bird folks. I'm like, oh, my dear, you must have lost your memory. Well, let me just make proper introductions like a good host should. I am Mad Maggie, and I am one of the warlords here in Avernus. How do you do?
We need help. We need help fixing this boy. I hold Frick. Not Frick, sorry, Michael.
Yeah, she turns to Frick. Yeah. You're almost as tall as Mickey here, she says, gesturing towards her fiendish golem. But she kind of goes over to like, Lulu, I've only heard a bit about you. You stopped by for a little while. What happened to you, dear? And Lulu just responds, hi, I'm Lulu. I'm sorry if we met before, but I don't remember you. It's like, oh my, she must have been through so much trauma. And she's just kind of doting on Lulu like a grandmother, only a horrible, disgusting grandmother.
Which means she's closer to me, so Trevor's just like, oh my god.
Michael's just standing behind
And
everybody.
then she'll finally like,
trying
oh,
to make it harder.
someone decided to go for a little swim, did they? It happens from time to time. I'm trying to move my horns better, more like they are in the picture. She kind of walks up and she's, examining Michael, looking in his eyes and everything. Kind of taps him on the head. Ugh. What were you thinking, letting him go for a swim? Or did you just not like him very much?
He was being an
I don't think any of us knew what his plans were. He had a glass jar, then he was at the river. I was watching.
Do you happen to have any of those glass jars?
Does he still have one?
Yeah, you can go through his stuff and find it.
Yep.
Okay, do you want to hand it to her?
Do I?
That's why I'm asking. She is, asking to see one.
Okay.
She's like, this is a regular bottle. If you wanted to actually bottle some of the water from the river Styx, you're going to need something enchanted. Otherwise, it just loses all of its properties. And she tosses the bottle back to you, and it's like, and then she just turns back to Lulu, who is much more interesting to her. Like,
Okay, I catch it.
good.
Immediately she just throws it, but no one said they're catching. I'm like, catch it.
Right. So you say you've lost your memories, dear. I might be able to help you out with that.
Please do. We need it. We can't live with this simpleton.
Oh, you mean him? I might be able to help with that. She rummages through her pockets and she pulls out a vial of something, and she's getting ready to pour it directly into Michael's mouth.
You know what? He kind of deserves it at this point. Go for it.
Okay, she just grabs him, and the way again how your grandmother
Michael-
might have given you medicine as a child if your
Would
grandmother.
Just
Would
shoving
Michael
the
fight-
spoon down your throat.
Yeah,
Yes, he doesn't-
unless if nobody's gonna stop, she just pours this vial of thick green stuff down his throat. Michael, it tastes terrible. And you actually realize you have enough mental faculties to realize that this night hag just dumped something down your throat.
Would he recognize it as poison?
Well, he recognizes it as slime in his mouth, but he's also Michael, you can think there's a night hag pouring slime down my throat.
Michael just swallows it because he now realizes that he's not where he originally was. So he's just like,
Make a Constitution
Okay.
check.
Oh god.
I'm kind of worried he's going to become a slave to this night hag.
7.
Okay. You start retching, but you're fine.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, if you're gonna try to get water from the river Styx, first off, you need to find a safe way to do it. And secondly, you're gonna want something that's been enchanted to actually keep its power for very long. These normal bottles, they won't do it. Now she's back over to Lulu. Like, but you, my dear, you're probably a special case. I know how to get your memories back, but it's gonna take me a little while to set up the ritual. But if you're okay with that, I'll start setting that up right away.
Can I insight check her?
Sure.
Me too.
Because I'm so great at it.
I will let both of you make an insight check.
I'm okay.
Janga, you think, oh yeah, she's just a kind old grandmother. She's been nothing but helpful so far.
Yeah, she's help Michael.
Trevor, yours was an 11. Sorry.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, you're right up there. It's like, yeah, I mean, she's a night hag, but she's helping out.
15.
I was going to say yours is at disadvantage, but it was still a 15. Yeah, she helped you already. Okay, Michael, yours actually was better, so I'll give you a little more. First off, night hags are never nice. Something is up with her, but at the same time, you don't have enough reason to distrust her. She's obviously gaining something from this. You just don't know what.
Michael just looks at her and goes, "What can we give you for helping her?"
Oh, honey, you don't understand, do you? You see, by helping Lulu here get her memories, why, we're all going to get to see the moment when Zariel fell from grace, and I, I'm a little bit of a Zariel fangirl, you see. That's actually why I first came to Avernus, because, oh, there's nothing more delectable than the misery of an angel falling and becoming a devil. And she actually runs over, like, come here, come here, come here. And she opens up a cabinet that is got, this is the Zariel merchandise. And let's see if I can show you some of the pictures I have here. First
anything
off,
there-
there's these are some tapestries that I collected that actually show Zariel, when her and her Hell Riders came in, and then the fight. And I just love to collect Zariel merchandise, and oh, the memories that this sweet creature possesses. That would just be, oh, yeah.
And Andy,
Yes.
just so that I have this clear in my own head, I'm thinking of like the point in Spaceballs where you've got Yogurt who opens up that giant area and saying merchandising, merchandising, lifting up Spaceballs the cereal. Is
Okay.
this sort of like that kind of design?
This would be like when a nerd is showing you off his figurine collection. She
Oh my
she collects anything that is related to Zariel. She loves it, and if you think that this might her getting to help gain these memories back, she's getting just as much out of this deal as Lulu is. And she's asking for nothing. She's like, I will do this for you.
Is there
Just
anything I can see that is kind of interesting to me?
Actually, yes. I mean, they're working on, like, on the map here. These big rigs, they're working on infernal war machines. There are red caps that are wandering around, and then you see some of them actually have black caps on. And
Mudcaps?
they are called madcaps if you ask her about them.
Okay.
Do you want to? I mean, she'll explain Fort Knucklebone to you. So she's like, I came to Avernus from the Feywild to learn, because Zariel is, she's just wonderful. And well, I brought these red caps with me. And some of them, they started dipping their hat into demon ichor, and that kind of makes it a little bit. Yeah. Don't worry about them. I mean, unless you just happen to find one of their triggers, they probably won't bother you too much. And then she starts introducing her people. The magpies, she calls them the kinku. That's a Clonk and Chanka. And they're my engineers. They work on stuff, and I put Mickey here together myself, and that's the big demonic flesh golem who's kind of like shifting uncomfortably and moaning. And then there's a flame skull with her. That's Barnabas. He kind of tries to remember things for me. And you know what? It's going to take me a couple of hours to get this ritual together. Why don't you guys just wander around the camp, and maybe you might be able to find some things to keep yourselves interested. And then she's like, come on, Mickey, we need to. Oh no, actually no, never mind. You're not that. I'll go get the ritual ready. And she kind of like skips off.
Yeah, that picture is Trevor this entire time.
Let me see which picture. You're just, yeah, smiling, trying not to scream in terror seems about right.
Michael is just Michael's just at the point to where he's just like, yeah,
Mhm.
not the scariest thing I've seen this week.
The two ravens, they kind of fly off to a different perch, and then you see that they are actually imps, and they kind of start whispering to each other and kind of looking at you. And Mickey just kind of wanders off with his limping, moaning, and you see some of the red caps start dancing around him, clapping. And
I
Barnabas,
make sure my symbol is tucked away
that's probably not a bad
in,
idea.
in the armor. It was already tucked away, but I'm just making sure that it didn't slip out.
Yeah. And the flame skull, he kind of floats over, and he's got a whistling when he talks, which I can't really pronounce, manage. Like, but I can't do that and talk at the same time. It's like, so you can just wander around, and we, if you have time, you could help out with some small things around here if you wish.
Michael just kind of looks at him and goes, I really need some rest. It's quite hot.
Oh, yes, of course. And he will show you to a place where you can rest up a little bit.
Michael just asks, which section of hell are you from? That accent is not something
It's-
usual that I'm.
He says he was actually a wizard in his life, but one of his enemies stole his skull and turned him into this. And then Mad Maggie found him, and the accent, as you put it, he is missing a tooth at the moment. Red caps like to throw things at him, and they knocked out one of his teeth, and then they kept it, and he would really like it back, but he can't figure out which one has it. He knows who did have it, and he's like, he doesn't really want to tell Mad Maggie that he lost a tooth to the red caps. And he'd really appreciate it if you could help him get that back.
Who was the last one that had your tooth?
It was one called Grubba. And
Who was it?
Grubba is the red cap who had it last. Oh, well, that he was the one who took it.
Gotcha.
And he just says it'd be if you could help him get his tooth back, he'll be sure to put in a good word with you with Mad Maggie. But he will also show you a place where you can rest if that's what you want to do.
Hey,
What,
Michael, are you like yourself now? I like tap his forehead.
You can stop tapping my forehead, please. Dear God,
Yeah.
I'm never doing that. But at least
Why
that's
didn't
one.
you tell us that's what you were going to do?
I thought I did.
No.
No, wait.
At least Danny didn't know.
No, wait. I told Raina. Raina was supposed to get everybody and tell them.
Yeah, and she's inside the pocket dimension.
He just kind of stares at himself and goes, I've got to talk to you guys. Let's go rest, and I need to fill you guys in.
So doing con saves? I'm just asking.
Do what?
Con.
I can't hear you.
Do we
Con.
need to do con saves?
Oh, no, not while you're inside Fort Knucklebone. We're going to call that. It's only when you're traveling that you really have to
The
make those
air
rolls.
condition.
It's not air conditioned. It's still uncomfortable, but you're not walking. Or I mean, overland travel is going to require those rolls unless you have some sort of fire resistance. Just sitting here or walking around the camp, you're fine.
Okay, let's get to the resting area. I'll catch everybody up on this.
Okay. I'll let you explain that before I go into random things happening.
So, yeah. I am gathering some information on how to get back at the very much higher powers that have started all the stuff. And this information is going to, one, tell me who they are. Well, tell me a lot about them, but also part part of it is putting together some stuff for a sword that can destroy a god. And over the course of this, I made a deal with a being called, I can't even remember what his name. Rule of Three, is that the name?
Yes.
With a being called Rule of Three, I need to plant 3 trees, get 3 vials of the blood of a celestial, and get 3 bottles of water from the river Styx.
To make a sword to kill a god?
No, that's for the information.
Lulu freaks out at that. You want to kill a god?
Wait, what are we trying? What are? Not we. I'm sorry. One more time. Not the beginning, the middle, and that ending part.
I am the Rule of Three, as part of his deals, normally has you do three things for him, and these things tend to be in threes. So I've got to get 3 bottles of celestial blood, plant 3 trees that you've already seen me plant 1 of, and get 3 bottles of water from the river Styx. This is for the information. The material side, I'm already working with Pip-Kip on putting that stuff together for the sword. That's going to be the harder bit, and this is actually going to be taking out. This is part of a long-term thing that I need to work on for us in the long.
Okay, but why?
Because it needs to stop. There's a line that you don't cross in regards to...
So you're going to just kill a god by making a deal with whatever the hell Rule of Three is? Anybody know Rule of Three at all?
No, I do go over Rule of Three, but Rule of Three is just information on the god. He's got diagrams of the sword from somebody else.
No, you got that from dang, I'm trying to remember his name. You got that from a different person that you met at the library.
Yeah, I know. I know. That was from. That's what I was saying. I was saying I'm getting information from Rule of Three on the particular gods involved. I'm getting.
Okay, sorry.
I've gotten the diagrams.
You talked in so many circles.
Yeah, I've gotten the diagram for the sword and the materials and the theoretics behind it from somebody else within the research library on Sigil.
So you're just gonna kill a god?
Why would you want to kill a god?
Because you're mad at them?
Because it's Cyric, and Cyric is infuriatingly psychotic.
Okay,
and is not
so is 90% of the Pantheon.
Yeah, Cyric is nobody's fan.
Lulu sits over here. You're making deals with demons to kill gods?
Wait, with demons? What?
What
is happening?
No. Well, yeah, but not in essence to kill them, just for the information on.
What? Frick, is it just me? Am I overreacting? I mean, I could be.
Rule of Three hangs out in Sigil, so I'll take an intelligence check to see how many of you have heard of him, except from Jonga, who doesn't know Sigil.
+1, guys. Yeah.
Okay, you don't know him. Wow, you were just so bad at these rolls today. Even with a +1, that's sad.
Thanks, Andy.
Jonga wasn't from Sigil anyway.
Trying.
In my defense, I spent most of my time
Drink is
getting
like,
beat out
does
of
he
my
drink
sword.
at the bar? Not the one I drink at.
Was it that? No, that was.
So no, none of you are particularly familiar with Rule of Three.
So Michael gives them the rundown of Rule of Three being what type of being was
he's just known as an information broker around Sigil. He can usually learn just about anything, and most people know him as a Githyanki monk that hangs out in a bar. But he's been there for a very, very long time.
Yeah, So, I guess the best thing that I can equate him to is the guy back in the capital that we used to speak to for information.
Learn it.
Yeah, Learned. He's pretty much Sigil's equivalent of Learned, but he
Michael.
does everything in 3. Yes.
You're trying to kill a god because he fucked with you?
Because he
Lulu's
has
eyes
a
could not have gotten any bigger, but somehow they are bigger, as she is just terrified by all of this.
You can't just kill a god.
Because he continuously tries to destroy reality. His entire thing is
What
just
god
that.
doesn't? Every god
Well,
has
the
their
light
own-
gods are,
Yeah,
they're
reality.
just, and they want good things to happen.
Okay, good
Even-
point, Lulu.
Even the evil gods don't want to completely destroy everything. They just want to subjugate it and make it their slave. He just wants everything dead or on fire. He literally just wants to see all of creation burn.
You realize we're
and-
literally in hell, right?
Yeah.
I will take religion checks from anyone who wants to see if you know anything about Cyric, other than, Michael's mad ravings. Hey,
Oh, Not really.
Jonga, you've heard of Cyric. Let me see if I...
Hey!
Jonga, what you've read about Cyric in your studies is that he is the god of lies, and while he has been known to be utterly insane at times, he doesn't... He screws with everybody, but he doesn't... he isn't trying to destroy reality or anything. He just stirs up trouble from time to time.
Yes. Stirs up trouble that ends up, destroying magic, getting gods killed,
Yeah, but that's like
just
normal.
destroying gods
Gods go to war with each other from time to time. Cyric's followers actually, because Cyric lies so much, even Cyric's followers are at war with each other. He doesn't really accomplish much outside the occasional death of a god. And they usually come back.
Yes, but he manages to, it's not the fact that he manages to kill them, it's the gods that he kills. Last god that he killed set off an entire eruption that destroyed magic for a time.
It came back. Okay, so
Yes.
you've terrified Lulu.
Michael, I'm not gonna help you kill a god.
The hidden lord
can't
is
speak.
speaking to you. I'll help. What do you
You
need?
shut up. Oh wait, no, he's not me. I'm sorry. I retract that. Shut up.
So the hidden lord supports your actions.
Michael just looks at the shield and goes, Thanks for the support. I kind of need to figure out fully and not have what I'm doing tainted by outside influencers. This is seriously Cyric has put this in
If you
motion.
can arrange this, I will serve you. Release me and I will help you achieve this goal.
Michael just looks at at Trevor and just pretty much like
I think we can officially say that this is probably more chaos than even I imagined in hell. Just the conversation.
You're trying to kill a guy?
Can you
Because
think
he
of a
made
god?
you angry.
No.
That's literally what it is. He fucked with you, now you're like, fuck it, I kill him. That's not how it works. That's not how this works.
John just starts chuckling.
I mean, I'm new to this whole god thing. But I know the difference between right and wrong. Sometimes. I think. I don't know.
Think of it like this. What is the one punishment that Cyric has always managed to escape from, even after being sentenced?
I don't know.
Junga, with your role, you know that the other gods imprisoned him for about 100 years,
Mhm.
but they didn't kill him. They just locked him away for a while. Now he's back out. And he's less insane than he was.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm
Okay,
just gonna
that's fair.
hold.
Yeah, outside you can hear the moaning of Mickey as he's walking around, and the madcaps seem to be trying to play some music in tune with his moaning. It sounds horrible. Like, did they manage to make a bagpipe in hell?
Yeah, I'm just gonna then start placing my hands on my ear.
Yeah,
Ear.
that's not a bad idea.
And I
Um,
start.
Now it's going to take actual 8 hours of rest to start getting rid of your exhaustion. Does anybody want to? So this is just a short rest, because in a couple of hours, Mad Maggie will be ready to, do the ritual.
And I return back before.
So I was going to say, if you guys just want to like have a snack and talk, or if you want to do other things, let me know. Because if you want to rest up before the ritual, just let her know too. Because she needs you to help.
Michael. Michael's going to try and rest as much as he can, but he is going to continue on this conversation with Trevor.
She's willing to put it off for a day to give you time to rest and recover, because she needs you all, peak. Okay, but continue the conversation. There's just, there's the occasional clatter outside I like to describe.
Trevor. He is the god of lies, deception, and murder. He was trying to use me in order to cause as much chaos as possible across all of the material plane. Just because I screwed up, and he wanted to see just how far he could push it.
How did you screw up? Hidden Lord talking.
Michael looks to the Hidden Lord and he goes, okay, if you can speak telepathically, do you have the ability to read memories? Because I really do not want to have to explain how I fucked up.
You share it with him, but he can't just read your mind without... You have to allow it. You can show him the memory.
Michael shows him the memory.
Wow. You are amazing.
You should not be telling me I'm amazing.
You got an entire temple of Bahamut slaughtered? Lulu was like, what?
I am trying to stop.
I can introduce you to Tiamat. She will love you.
Okay.
Lulu is now more horrified.
Wait,
Lulu,
do I know
I am
what?
so sorry.
Wait, do I know what he is saying? He helped slaughter.
Yeah, I'm going to say that these telepathic communications are going out unless I specify. Everyone hears it.
Can I make a history check just so I can see if I do know everything?
Sure, give me a history check. We'll see what you know about.
Not much, man.
I'm going to say that you do know that the Temple of Bahamut inside the country of Wildom was found guilty of treason against the king and was executed. You now know that was because of Michael.
Okay.
Even if you don't know the specifics.
And you don't know that it was my brother that did it.
The Hidden Lord, Michael, he is just your biggest fan right now. You struck a mighty blow against Bahamut. You want to design a weapon that will kill a god. How can he serve?
Michael.
Michael's
You can't kill a god because he pissed you off.
And you look up, and the imps are just like, you did all of that?
Oh god.
Michael, you're getting a fan club in hell.
Oh,
He began a new trend.
Hold on a minute. Mad Maggie's going to want to hear about this, and one of the imps
No,
takes
no, no,
off.
no, no,
Now
no,
I
no,
know
no,
why
no,
they said
no.
Frick to be the leader, because we would made Michael the leader, we would be leading to the
I
wrong
think
direction.
I think that Pipkin made the right choice. Frick should be in charge.
Oh, gosh, makes sense now.
Oh.
Actually, no. I know how I'm going to spin this. I know exactly how I'm going to spin this so that we have Frick back in charge.
Do you want to relay this story to Mad Maggie?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I
Let's
just see her bursting through the door. You what?
Okay, she is going to set up a meal for you guys.
Oh god.
Here's the first thing that you guys should learn about hell. Well, not the first. One of the top 10 things you need to know about hell. Food tastes horrible. And I mean, like, even the rations you brought in, utterly disgusting. Nourishing, but disgusting. There's not too much Mad Maggie can do to help you with that. But hey, that we'll let me get back into Mag. We'll get back into that later on. Tell me how you slaughtered a temple.
I didn't do it directly.
Mm-hmm.
I slaughtered Victor's underling and left her head on a pike
Uh-huh.
with the word Bahamut does not approve on the pike.
Uh-huh.
He then spoke to the captain of the guard
Uh-huh.
and the personal bodyguard of the king,
Uh-huh.
who then sentenced and executed the entirety of the
Give me a
of the
performance roll, please. I want to see how well you spun this story.
Trevor just face palms the table as hard as he possibly can.
Ooh.
wow, even
I'm going to
so-
go ahead and give you the natural 20 on this because some of the reactions of your friends are selling it. She hasn't even eaten. Like somebody had to like bring her popcorn. Oh.
and
Wow.
at the end of it, I then point out that, and the person that I refer to that is in command of me for the time being, until such that I am released, he points to Lord Fricktastic.
I like that he just now put the headphones back on too. Like Frick was really in La La Land. Oh.
At this point, I'm lying down on the ground, kind of relaxed,
Oh.
and my hand.
Do you want a job? You can just hang out with me and just tell stories.
Well,
No,
I
I kind of want to.
Oh yes, kill a god. That. Oh, but when you do that, please come back and just tell me about it, please.
This is gonna be like the next time that Michael's in hell. There's going to be tiny little figurines of him and action figures and like
Oh.
entire bed frames and
Yeah.
tapestries, and he's just gonna be like,
Mad
Where's my cut of the
Maggie.
merch?
Mad Maggie likes you.
Maybe that's a good
I
thing, though.
believe.
Maybe we can use that.
Okay. Like I said, the food tastes terrible, but it's nourishing. Even she's like, there you got to be like an authorized dealer from Asmodeus to get good food. The Wandering Emporium, they can manage it, but the rest of us, well, I'd say it's an acquired taste, but it's not. It's always terrible. Is always terrible. And she says this while eating her. We're gonna call it popcorn, but you're pretty sure it was never a vegetable.
I'm very fairly sure
She's
that
just
it's like
enraptured by your tale of what you did to the Temple of Bahamut. And, like,
I have this idea that popcorn in hell is like fried lice that fell off of some giant eldritch being.
yes, you're pretty sure that this was fried critters at some stage.
I never
But-
want popcorn again.
Anyway, she is like, okay, So, like I said, you can have a couple days to rest up and get your energy back. Again, if you want to talk to anyone else around Fort Knucklebone, otherwise, whenever you're ready, she really wants to do this ritual to help Lulu.
Actually, if I have such drawn attention from everybody and everybody's reverence, I will point out that the skull needs his tooth back.
Yeah, he
At this
kind
point.
of, slings back. He's a little ashamed of that.
It was
And
stolen. He
and-
didn't lose it.
yeah, it was stolen. So just as a way of doing something to keep everybody on level and keep everybody at their best, I would like for the tooth to be brought back to him. Don't have to need to know the name.
Let's put it this way: everyone in Fort Knucklebone, or all the major players, they all got some little mini quest that you could help out with. That's what, basically think of it like a reputation side quest. You can earn favor with Mad Maggie by helping out her underlings. They're mostly small things if you want to give them a try. Or we go straight into the vision quest.
Shall we go straight into the vision quest,
Maybe.
everybody? Because I'm like sitting here out of character, just completely mortified
Well, like I
that
said,
Michael is apparently gaining a hell.
I'll just put it to you this way: the more favor you earn with Mad Maggie, the more resources are at your disposal for traveling around Avernus.
Yeah, I'm just. I have a goal of leaving. I don't want to be in this hot mess.
Okay.
Yes, either do
I'll
a quest or
this
Frick's
one-
gonna start teaching people how to
but
play 3 Dragon Ante.
No. We
Okay.
gotta bring it up to 7 Dragon Ante, because if we're going to have that many people, we gotta do it on as a 7 Dragon.
No, you don't understand. 3 Dragon Ante.
It is the game, yes. Okay,
Oh yeah.
so when you're ready to do this, we're going to say there are a few things about Hell that will be explained to you, and I'm just going to go over those real quick. There are warlords. They are all independent factions. Zariel isn't a big fan of them, but she kind of lets Mad Maggie keep the others in check. We can go over those as need be. If you want to learn about the rides, well, Hell has its own currency, soul coins. They are coins that are made out of souls. That is worth more than gold here. Gold is what the devils use to help mortals out. They all like soul coins. That's their primary. And soul coins have their own abilities. Again, we can get into that more later on. But now, Mad Maggie is just so ready to get into the vision quest, because she wants to see what Lulu has seen. So, are you ready? You gather around.
I'm already. Let's
Okay.
do this.
Okay, so
Do I have to
she's
break
set up.
Do I have to participate? Can I stand up to the side?
It would help the others if you participate, because there's things that happen. If you are out of it, you don't know any of what Lulu has been through. That's up to you, though. Mad Maggie would like for everyone to be involved, because the more people involved, the better the chance that Lulu will regain her memories. She's setting things up. She's like, I gotta have my sisters help me with this. And she brings out a couple of skulls, puts them in position in the circle. Lulu is at the middle.
God.
Everyone who wants to be a part of this, gather round.
Michael orders the intern to join in.
Okay.
You can't make me, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Michael goes to join in, orders the intern to join in.
But I'm gonna
Let's get.
before she does anything, before I accept to join in, I'm gonna ask if there's any dangers that will follow or any.
There will be some danger, but don't worry. I'll make sure that You survive it.
Where's the danger?
Well, you're going into her memories of hell. There could be some psychic trauma.
Do I have to do the thing, or if I stay out, will I?
If you stay
That's like,
out, you won't be harmed, but you won't participate in the story as we go forward. You'll just be there. You'll just be a spectator, and you won't have any of the knowledge. So, if you want to not participate in this story part of the game, if Jonga is that scared and wants to not get involved, that's fine. But Katie will also be out for a moment.
it's not that he's scared. It's just he has another faith.
Okay. Anyway, so everyone who's there who wants to be part of it sits down in the
Oh.
circle.
Yep.
Fine, I'll-
Okay,
but I'm not happy.
that's fine. As a rich
None of us are
radiant.
happy.
All right. So those of you who are involved, you sit down, you close your eyes, and the visions begin. A rich radiant light of 100 dancing rainbows slowly dissolves. Warm sunlight fills the area. Within this space, Lulu is flying lazily in a lush meadow at the shoulder of a beautiful blindfolded angel. Okay, sorry, I was reading what somebody said. Yes, Lulu appreciates that. Is flying next to the blindfolded Zariel as the pair strolls through tall green grass. A lush voice, no, the voice of the hag enters your mind. You have to push through the vision. It only represents what Lulu wishes was true. We need more. I need everyone to give me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh God.
I'm in this consequences.
Ooh. Ooh. Frick,
Can I
you're...
use?
Okay. Everyone who got below 10, you're gonna take psychic damage. You will take 9 points of psychic damage. Everyone but Frick. You're still conscious though,
Missed
right?
it by that much.
You're all yeah. That's amazing considering the negative. You all take most of you take this trauma. Okay, Michael, when you Kyle, when you have to step away, that's fine. But you all proceed to the second stage. A flame encircled battleground appears on a barren hellscape. At the center of the circle, Lulu and the angel lie unconscious and prone, horribly injured. You see yourselves standing around them, facing up against a group of devils. The devils, the hag is saying, you must defeat the devils. So that's we're not going to do initiative. I'm going to kind of just like one at a time. I'll let you each make an attack, and then I will roll for the devils because these guys aren't the strongest. So everybody make you all get 2 attacks at least. So everybody make 2 attacks. Let's see how much you beat down on the devils. Okay. All right. Let me check on their AC. Yeah, most of you will hit. Frick, give me 1 damage roll. Jonga, make 1 damage roll. And anybody who got above a 15 can also make the appropriate damage rolls. Okay.
Oh, did you do that? Oh, no, I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. That's better.
I think
Okay, just let me compare with their health right quick. Yeah. We're gonna say in the interest of time, that you beat them all down pretty quickly, actually, and the devils, none of them were destroyed, but they all just they bow down before you and say, "We spare our lives and we will serve." We're going to say there's 1 for each of you. So, your choice. You can let your devil go, or you can finish them off. I take it Trevor finishes his off.
I'm a merciful person.
Okay, Jonga lets his go. Frick crushes one beneath his foot. Kyle, are you with us?
He was checking this kid.
Okay. I will. Danny, I'll let you decide. What do you think Michael would do?
Spare it?
Okay. So Michael chooses to spare his. Okay. That the devils, the ones that were allowed to fly away and vanish as the world changes around you again. You're now wandering in a barren landscape of utter devastation. Black sludge begins to rise up around the ground, enveloping your feet. You hear Mad Maggie's voice once again. Don't let the smudge consume you. You must push through her defenses. Lulu Bassi. Everyone is going to risk being restrained. You must make an athletics or a dexterity saving throw. Michael and Frick get advantage because their spine devils come back to help them. I'll make a roll on behalf of Michael, who got a natural 20. Alright.
Oop, that's damage.
Yeah. So I'll you get to roll twice. Okay. You all manage to, some of you with the help of a devil, if you spared them. The devil comes back and helps Frick out of the sludge. Everyone else, you manage to to pull your way free, which is good because that means you don't take any extra damage. As you push through the darkness that's trying to envelop, as Lulu subconsciously is trying to avoid seeing this, and you go in to the final vision. Lulu is resting on a black cushion inside the center of an inky void. She's unconscious and alone. A beam of brilliant white light shines down on her, and next to her is a brass spyglass. And she opens her eyes and she looks through the spyglass, and then suddenly you hear her saying excitedly, the sword, I know where the sword is." And with that, you all come back out of the vision. Lulu has all of her memories now. She recalls everything from before, and she also realizes how much magic is a part of her. Mad Maggie is just like shivering with delight. Oh, that was amazing. Thank you. Ooh.
Short rest?
Lulu, you okay?
Lulu is very excited. It's like, I remember now. Zariel, she had us hide the sword. It was in the we hid it in the bleeding cathedral. We could save her. If we get the sword, we could save Zariel. Michael, we did the rolls for you. You managed to survive the division, and Lulu seems to think that if you can retrieve the sword of Zariel, that it will be possible to save Zariel.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Michael looks to Trevor.
I'm also going to say that you, if you want to go, because you spend a couple days resting, you will also want to go and meet Pip Kip with your contact within the next. We'll call it 12 hours.
Let's go meet up with Pip Kip, and then we go to the cathedral.
Okay. The fun thing is, it's called the Wandering Emporium for a reason. Mad Maggie is happy to explain because you've, thanks to your story, she's very delighted. Even though you didn't do anything extra for her, but she's going to tell you You cannot communicate between dimensions.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Then I don't do that.
yeah, Zarya, no, sorry, Mad Maggie will explain a few things. The Wandering Emporium is run by, what, I got his name up here somewhere. I didn't think you were going to get this far today, to be honest. Okay, I think it's called, his name is Mahadi, and I'm just trying to pull up his in Avernus, because the Wandering Emporium moves around, but it is run by someone. Yes, his name is Mahadi, and she can tell you where she thinks it'll be, but it is called the Wandering Emporium, and she loved Michael's story so much, so very, very much. She's gonna offer you guys a few extra things along the way. She'll give you 3 soul coins, which is the primary currency, and you see, if you want an engine, she'll give you a smaller war engine. Let's see what can hold you all, because she's not going to give you one of her good ones. But the Devil Ride is sort of like a motorcycle; it can only hold 1 person. Um, she'll let you have a tormentor, but it's not going to be in the best shape. It's going to be missing one of its weapons. But a tormentor will hold 4 people. It can carry 500 pounds of cargo, and it can move. If you ride it around, you won't have to worry about the exhaustion. And she thinks she can help you get to the Wandering Emporium.
Michael definitely looks at Trevor at this point, just pretty much saying,
Here's the
Shall we?
thing. Let me also tell you about soul coins right quick, because she's going to explain them, because she's in a particularly festive and giving mood. I know I had soul coins up here somewhere. Dagnabbit. Items. Okay. Soul coins. Here we go. Okay, they're about 5 inches across. They weigh about 1/3 of a pound. Who's taking the soul coins from her?
Michael will.
Michael, as you get these, you feel the despair of each soul in that coin. What's your Constitution modifier?
+0.
Oh, you think that these are going to weigh particularly heavy on you. A non-evil creature can only carry as many soul coins equal to or less than their Constitution modifier without a penalty. You don't think you can carry these. You don't have. They will be too much of a burden on you.
I can carry 3.
Okay. So, Trevor, do you take the coins from them?
Sure.
Okay. You still feel the rage, the despair of each of these souls, and Mad Maggie will explain how they work. You can a soul coin has 3 charges. You can drain some of their life away to get yourself 1d10 temporary hit points. You can actually speak with the soul. To learn, you can ask them a question about what they knew in life. Or, I suppose, if you want to, you can free the soul, which will destroy the coin, and the soul moves on to whatever afterlife it would have been destined for had it not been trapped. If it's an evil soul, it might just reappear as a lemur on the river Styx. If it was a good soul, it will go on to whatever god or, realm. But you, she says, you don't want to do that because, see, the war machine, it needs these coins. 1 charge of the coin will power a war machine for 8 hours. So if you pop a fresh coin in, it'll run for 24 hours. If you use a couple of charges, then it'll only run for 8 hours. Putting the coin in destroys the coin and consumes the soul. You, just from the way she's talking, you're pretty sure that freeing a soul is an act of goodness. That's why she thinks it's an utterly stupid idea.
Where did Lulu say that the sword was?
Is a place called the Bleeding Cathedral.
Would I know anything about that from what Zoriel has taught me?
Probably not, because
Okay.
you know, not too many people come back from hell to talk about this.
Okay.
But that's something you can do later on, because uh, you're really going to need to. I'm going to send you the stats of a tormentor. Very quick. Let me pop that into chat, because you might wind up in some combat. But this one is not going to have all of its. We're going to say that you're going to, if you want to get that harpoon reattached to it, you're going to need to pay them. Because, well, she likes you. She doesn't like you enough to give you one of her functioning machines.
Out of character, why did we need one?
Because you can
It'll
walk, but you'll risk exhaustion.
Okay.
You don't have to take it. You can free every soul in those coins and tell her to keep her machine. She won't mind. But I'm trying to give you guys some of the information, because we're jumping around until we really get into the start of this. I'll get you those stats on that thing later on. Do you want to go ahead and head for the Wandering Emporium? Because we'll take a break here in a few minutes if you don't. I'm going to take it we're headed for the Emporium.
Yeah, let's head for the Emporium.
Okay.
Is anybody else?
You kind of
What?
faded away.
No, let if everybody's okay with it, let's head for the Emporium, meet Pip real fast, and then head out for the Bleeding Cathedral.
Okay. Because it's going to be quite a bit of you're going to have to do some looking around. Even using the map, you go to where the Wandering Emporium should be. Do you drop one of the coins in to the Tormentor, or do you walk?
Shall we use the Tormentor? Because I really don't want us dying just walking around.
Looks like Frick is ready to drop one into the slot.
Yep.
I'll give it to Frick.
Okay. Frick, you're a good person. You feel the rage inside. This was a soul that was just wrathful and angry, and you drop him into the coin slot, and the war engine starts to rumble. And who wants to drive it? It's not. I don't know what
Was
to
that
think.
the soul talking as I drop it in?
Yeah. He shouts out, "What the hell is that?" Right before he hits the engine, and is.
That's so perfect.
I know. Don't you just love it when that happens? Who's driving?
Well, as much as I love to drive, I'm kind of the navigator, so.
Okay. It's not too
I'm
complicated.
GPS
One of the red casts are like, you step on that to go faster. You turn that to hit people. And you step on this when you get to where you need to go, or once you've gotten where you need to go. You don't need it for anything else.
Michael
guess
will
I'll-
drive.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Michael drives, I will guide.
Okay. So you take off. You're just bouncing around. This is an interesting thing to drive. It's a lot of power. Small things in your path. They don't stay in your path very long, or they become part of the landscape permanently. So
Hi,
we're
Pippi.
going to say it's going to take you a couple of hours, but you find the Wandering Emporium. Frick, you hear this coming from the map. Mahadi's Wandering Emporium has a knack for showing up when you least expect it. Yes, the map will talk to you.
In that moment, like, is this an advertisement?
I love that. uh,
Should we invest in that, Frick?
No.
so you
Bad
see the Wandering Emporium. It's I like to think that it sort of looks like an Arabian bazaar. There's
Nice.
it's is on a mobile platform, but you just got all these different tents. You can see a variety of beings. Some of them are having food and drink, and some of them seem to be working there, not necessarily of their own choice, but they're working there. And you arrive, and you see a man. He's got the dark skin of someone who has been living in Arabia. Colorful clothes. He says, "Welcome, friends, to the Wandering Emporium. I am Mahadi, and I live to serve." And he will explain very quickly that the Wandering Emporium has many, many things to offer you. For one thing, the best food in Avernus. We've actually got good tasting food here. But anyone who comes in, they must, of course, sign the basic disclaimer saying that they will follow the rules and that you will be paying all dues before you leave.
Seems fair.
Okay.
Michael scans the contract for any really fine print that screws them up.
Do you read Infernal?
Yes, I do actually.
Okay. Give me an investigation roll then.
Can I read with him to give him advantage?
You don't understand the language, do you?
Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind.
Okay. All right, Michael. It looks pretty standard. It's basically just saying that, like I said, you cannot leave until you've paid off your tab, and that means that if you don't have the soul coins for it, then you will be working the debt off. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem for you. But you can't come in if you don't sign that deal. And they actually have a menu here. I'm just going to see if I can post the non-infernal version, just in case anybody wants any food. But all of that is, like I said, he will tell you that they are one of the few places in all of the Nine Hells that has food that actually tastes like food.
Nah, Michael's not gonna have any food ever.
Okay.
We have so few soul coins. We're not going to.
You can always earn more. In fact, there might be jobs you can do if you're needing some. But he does also tell you that your guest is waiting for you. But you still need to, like everyone else, you need to sign to enter.
Michael signs and then looks to everybody else. So shall we?
Okay. Unless anybody who doesn't sign will be staying outside. That's really just the rule of things. So anybody who does sign can join Michael as you are shown inside to a very nice restaurant, and you don't see Pip anywhere, but you are sat down at a table with gentleman is the wrong word, but you are sat at a table with someone who's like, you must be Mr. Bradmore and company.
Yes.
I hear you are looking for some items, not the easiest to acquire, but what do you have to trade?
See, I could be a complete bastard right now and say the Hidden Lord, but
You could.
oh god, I'm so tempted to.
Well,
Oh god, I really am.
Wait, what?
you're sitting before a devil who has not introduced himself, and he's asking what Michael is willing to trade for the items he seeks. He does have some services you can provide for him, but he likes to let you open the negotiations first.
Well, I have a few
And
things.
Frick, I will just go ahead and let you know that you are in a restaurant with an open bar. Well, not an open bar, but you have a
Well,
stack
it's
of
got to be
contracts. I
However,
just want
we
to.
have
Michael
to
just
solve one.
Michael just grabs hold of Fricktastic. Grabs hold of Frick and just goes, don't. We really,
I'm
really
just saying
don't
you
want to
got a
kill.
stack of contracts, and I figure. I mean, I assume you go everywhere with at least 5
Yes.
gallons of wine.
Yes.
But first off, Michael, how do you open these negotiations?
Michael's going to first try and dig as much out of this guy about what he's willing to provide as much as possible.
What
But
I
can't.
can provide depends upon payment. You said that you wish to have some infernal crystal. Well, the quality of that crystal will vary depending upon your payment. Just so you know, the higher quality the crystal, the easier it will be to work with, or the less risk of it being broken should the construction go badly. So high quality gets you a lower DC, or at least more attempts to construct. You have 2 soul coins, one half functioning tormentor, and an intern who did have to leave. But you also have the shield, and you have some magic items. If you do not have payment, I have some jobs that I require done. We could make a contract.
Give me some idea of what sort of payment you would be wanting for the high quality.
Well, you could give me one of your entourage. The more of them you are willing to give me, the better the quality. They all seem to be quite capable, and
Give me just a moment to confer with one of my entourage on that.
of course.
Michael
I
pulls
would
out a
love to
small
tell
copper
Katie that you traded off the intern for crystals.
No,
I would let you do it.
Uh,
She's technically your employee. He is.
Michael takes out a small copper wire and casts sending and
Okay.
whispers as part of the sending to Trevor. So, are you still wanting to get rid of the shield?
I'm not helping you, and if you try to sell one of us, I will attack you.
Trevor, on top of his message to you, you hear. You can't make out what they're saying, but you can hear additional whispers in the sending.
Oh, interesting. That's my response.
Wait.
Then.
Wait, what?
And when that message comes back, you hear extra whispers on top of Trevor's voice. You can't
I am
quite hear
going-
what any of them say, but you're getting the impression that that anytime you use any sort of sending magic, that it could be tapped. The unnamed devil will be just saying, yeah.
Michael tries to listen. Michael tries to discern from his memory of it what the actual whispers were.
I'm going to say that it's probably more of it's not like they were really speaking anything that you could hear. It was unintelligible, but you get the distinct impression that powerful creatures in hell can listen in on your mental conversations. That means that any sort of sending magic, telepathy, if they choose to, they can listen in. Now, maybe somebody was listening in just then. Maybe you were just getting some static. The devil's just patiently waiting, sipping on some wine that he's gotten. Oh, of course, this wine is already paid for. You can help yourself. I assume Frick is going to pour a glass. He's thinking about it.
Michael pulls out from his bag a small ring and places it in front of the person. Now, I know one as silver-tongued as you probably doesn't need something exactly of this type, but it does have its uses, I think, even amongst here.
Would you like to tell me what it is?
Ring of noble kind.
He just kind of smirks and says, I realize that you don't know me because I intend for you not to know me. A small amount of anonymity you understand, but I am already nobility. Now, if you wish that to be a part of the payment, you can add something else to it. Or would you like to hear my offer?
Yeah, Michael's gonna lift the ring from the table at that point. He'll nod for the guy to give his side, but he'll try to drag him on to explain it just long enough for him to attune to the ring of noble kind himself.
It would probably take you more than 5 minutes to attune to it.
He's a noble, though, right?
It's kind of hard to tell, but he did just use that phrase, so yeah, you'll. How much of a boost do you gain from that again?
It boosts my charisma up by 2.
Okay.
It gives me advantage on charisma persuasion checks made to interact with aristocrats and nobles, and you can use an action to expend one of its charges to cast the spell Purify Food and Drink. But yeah,
I'm gonna say that yeah, he does count as nobility among the devils. Like I said, you're going to have to try and stall for a good 5 to 10 minutes to attune to this ring, though, and pick what you're unattuning from.
Going to be unattuning from for the short time. The Crystal Diffusion Shield.
Okay. Basically, he'll explain that in exchange for crystals of varying quality, he needs you to deal with certain individuals. Now, this, of course, would require a contract to be in place. One of the clauses being that you may not speak about who you are working for. In fact, he has complete deniability and everything, and he can't tell you who they are unless you are willing to sign that anonymity clause. But the more of them that you deal with, the better the crystal he will give you. And you kind of have you start hearing Pip whisper in your ear, you know, that's probably one of the better deals you're going to get around here. Honestly, you know, you just go and kill some devils. You don't care about devils, and you get something good out of it. He's trying to keep this, you know, just like obviously he's invisible, but you know his voice well enough.
Yeah, I do.
Uh, you did mention something to your friend about a shield. Do you care to elaborate on that?
Nah, nah. Well, it's good to know that I at least know who was listening in on that
You
conversation.
literally whispered that into the wire in front of him.
Yeah, I know. I'm
It
sorry.
was
Yeah.
the spell actually says that you speak into the wire, so you didn't hide it
Yeah.
from him.
No, I know. Um,
Gonna bring our map back up to Avernus.
if I'm going to, if I've already got the ring attuned to me, I'm going to try and persuade him on the clause that the anonymity clause, that it will not count against me if his name gets found out through a third party, i.e., or through said third parties,
Make your roll.
if it's not of my own actions. So if somebody else tells them,
Okay,
then
make the roll.
am I attuned on it, because that helps
Yeah,
out.
I'll go ahead and say you've had time to attune to it. You can run on a sentence better than anybody. Okay, he says, the best way to handle that is for me to simply not tell you who I am. Therefore, you know nothing, and if you get caught killing individuals around here, then you will not be able to give away any information.
That's good. And if anybody actually finds out through
They won't be
through
able
other
to find out
means,
because only myself and your messenger even know we were having this conversation, and, well, I don't see there being a problem.
all right, can I have the list of names, please, and I'll
Only if you're willing to sign, you know, basically he's not going to just hand over a list of individuals he wants dead without an agreement in place. You might just run off and tell them that there's someone trying to kill them.
No, I'll go over that agreement with a
All right.
fine-tooth comb real fast.
Yeah, he's happy to explain most of the details. You know, first and foremost, if you outright betray him, your soul is forfeit. But the rest of the contract simply says that it, you know, there's a if you kill for each one you kill, the quality of the crystal will improve. There's no upper limit. He will give you a huge freaking crystal if you do really well and wipe out a whole bunch of them.
All right, yeah, I'll sign that.
Okay.
I'm not intending to betray him.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, you know, he'll basically explain to you that within the boundary of the layer of Dis, which, you know, is the next one up, he wishes for you to slaughter the devils known as the Amenzu, if I'm pronouncing that right. Let me check.
Amnitsu.
Yeah, the Amenzu. They're fairly high ranking, and they tend to wander along the abyss, collecting the lemurs, and you know, starting them off through what you might refer to as boot camp. The more of them you slay, and of course you will need to slay any underlings they have with them, because you can't have any witnesses, because they would only come after you. If you kill one, you'll get a crystal of, well, subpar quality. the same as I might offer you if you were to give me a soul coin, for example. If you kill 5 or 10 of them, you'll get a very nice crystal indeed.
Thank you. That's actually quite good. He'll
But it must be within the bounds of Dis. Uh, Slaughter them in Avernus, and you get no credit at all.
Oh, there's always that fine print. But all right, that makes
There,
sense.
yeah, this is a regional contract.
Ah,
Now, again, he's kind of curious about that shield that you mentioned.
I'm not at liberty to give over the shield.
Okay. Well, then, it sounds like, you know, before you make your exit from our humble realm, just just stop by Dis, kill a handful of the Aninzu, and I will ensure that a crystal finds its way to you. And
I don't intend to just have this be something that I come here, do once, and then not come back and do again. I'll probably come back here a few times and try to get through it. But I'll if I do have the time on this trip to go through and do this, I will.
don't worry.
Try.
Just whenever you have decided that you have fulfilled as much of the side of the contract as you want, the crystal will be brought to you.
All right.
And
very
I
much.
will just make sure that uh, and he turns and looks to where you heard Pipkit's voice, and to ensure everyone is playing fair, a tendril of black smoke starts coming out of his finger, and it starts to envelop. Pipkit becomes visible as it starts to swirl around him, and sort of like, that sludge from the vision starts to creep over him and down his throat, and you hear his gurgling cries, and then you can no longer see him in the smoke. You hear popping sounds of bones being repositioned, and the devil's just kind of smiling as this process takes place. And he says, when it starts to fade away, now where Pip Kip was sitting is a demon or a devil about the same size, only it is covered in black feathers, has some claws and a beak. Basically, it looks like a raven devil. You now answer to me, Corvus. Ensure that they fulfill the agreement, and I will ensure payment is prompt. Do you understand? The being now known as Corvus is kind of staring at his new form. He's like, "Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I understand, sir." And with that, the devil will say, "And feel free to finish off the wine. It has already been paid for." And he will take his exit. And Pip-Kip is no more, as he is now reborn as the Raven Devil Corvus.
Michael slides his glass over to Frick.
It is very good wine. Some very, very good wine.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, this is some of the really, really good stuff you would get in a fine establishment back home. Corvus is sort of testing out all this new abilities. He seems to have a pretty good understanding of them. Uh, he can't change shape anymore. He is, always going to be this raven devil. He has talons, a beak. He can still turn invisible, apparently. So he's pretty excited about all this. Frick, if you want to go and talk to Mahadi about your line of fine wines, we can do that because I think that would be fun. But
Please.
yeah, Michael Corvus is just sitting next to you, and he's still kind of speechless.
So is this an upgrade from how you were before, and are you okay with it?
Are you kidding me? I'm a magnificent raven devil now.
That doesn't answer me on if it's a step up from how you were.
Uh, I'll say give me we'll call it a religion check for what you understand about devils. He's not an imp.
Yeah. Are you all right with being tied to him? Because I know, well, I didn't mean for you to get tied on to anybody. That's part
You
of me.
know, you always work for someone unless you're on the top.
All right. But I didn't expect for you to get changed in this and get beholden to somebody, so I'm kind of sorry for that. I didn't know that was.
Well, I was already beholden to someone, but imps are, when they get called to the mortal plane, they're sort of taken out of rotation because we have, any devil who gets called to the mortal plane is expected to do whatever it is he's supposed to do based on the power of the spell. This gets me out of the whole front line of the blood war thing. This is a promotion. I didn't think I was going to get promoted so soon. And then, as he says that, like, but he can take it away. If you screw this up for me, Bradmore, I swear.
I'm not gonna screw it up. I'm not gonna screw it up.
Okay, cool. Then he's
But-
he's smoothing your shirt back where he grabbed it. It's like, okay, that's good, that's good.
But just cool it, okay? And if you're starting to feel unsafe with being under him, just
What are you gonna do? You're gonna go kill him? Oh, wait a minute, you're gonna kill a god. That might actually be possible, huh? 'Cause if you kill him, then I can take his place.
don't think on it like that.
Oh,
Just-
his mind is already whirling with how far can this guy take me? You see it in his eyes. He's like, oh, if you can actually manage to do this, I could probably wrangle a few more promotions. I could, Archdevil Corvus, ruler of which plane do I want to rule?
I'm not a miracle worker. If there's an equivalent, okay. No, I am an atrocities maker, but dear God, don't count on me doing that kind of.
Oh, he doesn't think you can actually slay a god. He's just, it's one of those little fantasies like, what can I tie in? What can I get? How far can this guy actually get me? You got him above imp, and you've never even heard of a raven devil, so you think maybe that one's a unique promotion. He doesn't look. I mean, he looks slightly like an imp is tiny, I think, or yeah, an imp is tiny. He's now bigger than he was. So he's a bit more formidable than what he used to be.
Hey, at least Raina won't be able to choke you with just one hand from now on.
Oh, I'd like to see her try. I don't need air to start with. It's just uncomfortable,
Okay.
depending on the grip.
All right.
Michael, were you doing anything during this time?
Like, doing?
No, sorry,
doing...
Trevor. Trevor, were you doing anything during any of this?
Nope.
Okay, just checking. Freak was enjoying the bottle, like 3/4 of a bottle of wine.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well,
Shall we go off to the Bleeding Cathedral now?
no, you can either go to this or you need to go kill a bunch of people.
We need to deal with the Bleeding Cathedral
What?
first.
What? Who cares about the Bleeding Cathedral?
The contract for killing them does not have a time limit.
Yeah, but the sooner you get to it, the sooner I get to keep this form. Besides, what's in the Bleeding Cathedral?
We'll explain.
Do you explain?
No.
We wait till we're out of this place.
Actually, you think this might be one of the safer places you've been at. It's a comfortable temperature. There's a lot of food, and there's a lot. I mean, the Wonder Emporium is it's one of the better markets. You can probably get just about anything here.
Michael just writes it down on a piece of paper that he can keep in his hand so that nobody else can read it.
Okay,
And shows it to Pip.
give me a stealth check. Let's see how much you are able to conceal this.
Oh my god! I'm using all 12 of my plot points.
Okay, I will move that up to an 18. Oh, that was funny. That was funny. Okay, so Pip reads, "Retrieve the sword of Zariel." Is that all you write for him? What do you write on this paper?
I pretty much write as much as I can.
I mean, just
sort of like
tell
a very...
me right quick. Like you're trying to relay this in like what, 2 sentences?
Yeah.
Because you don't have time for the full background.
It's pretty much retrieve the blade of Zariel from the cathedral, and help her out.
Help Zariel.
Yep.
Okay, he's just gonna go. He's goes quiet for a second, and he leans in. How are you gonna help her? I mean, she's already a ruler down here. I mean,
even a ruler needs help.
All right, good point. Okay.
No. One, we barely know anything about this fucking place. Two, you're trying to kill a god, and three, again, we know nothing about this place. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh hey, we know where this is. Let's just go there blindly with 4 people.
Well, you got me, and Lulu's like, and you got me, and then the Hidden Lord's like, and you have me.
And then Frank joins in, and you have me.
Now all we need is just a dwarf that says you have my axe.
I think that was the tone he was going with.
say
Which was
in
really
Dwarvish.
amazing.
You have my wine. Actually, no, I'm keeping the wine.
Look, we have a very bad habit of going blindly in the situation that we have no idea how it's gonna come out of.
So you want to be scout ahead?
I want to have more than let's go to this place, see what happens.
That's
Why
what
don't
scouts
we
are
pump
for,
the
which
shield
frankly we
with
do
fire?
not have unless you volunteer.
We also have a shield that apparently knows quite a lot around, so we can pump that for information.
I also
Down.
have somebody who knows more about Zariel than probably some of the creatures here.
And that is that person here?
She's been training me.
Corvus will kind of say, you're talking about a mortal who only had legends from the people who apparently ran away from her, and then you also have a magical heaven elephant that actually was her friend. Lulu's like, yeah, I remember everything now. If we can get the sword, we can save her. With the power of friendship. And then she actually shoots out sparks from her trunk. This freaks out a lot of people.
Michael just brings the the elephant thing towards his chest and just holds onto her and just goes, "New type of demon we're developing. Sorry."
Give me uh, a deception roll for that at disadvantage. Oh.
It's still a 14 though.
That is true. That is true. I mean, it's still, the glowing elephant just shot sparkles everywhere. People took notice. And Corvus kind of gets further away from the sparks.
Michael just starts walking away from the table with the elephant, just shaking his head slowly.
Okay. So you head back out into the wasteland. And guys, I think that might be a pretty good place for us to call this week's adventure. Because I really didn't know how far you were going to get, but you got to meet Mad Maggie, and I hope you go back and talk to her more in the future. I love Mad Maggie. You were able to get Pip promoted into a very unique devil. I'm very proud of that. And so I see a lot of things that can happen here. Oh, Frick, did you want to try to sell wine to the Wandering Emporium?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sorry, but then before we go, make your sales pitch. You're talking to Mahadi now. My friend, what can I do for you?
My dear friend, I bring a very special brew from my realm. Allow me to go further, if you wish.
Mm-hmm.
And it is where he'll just take out a bottle.
Have you drank any of the wine you brought from home?
Not recently.
Do you want to take a drink? You've already been told everything from that comes into to hell is rancid.
I will pour 2 glasses, one for him, one for me.
All right. And he will kind of wave a hand over both glasses and says a couple of words, and he'll take a sip.
I join him.
I have a drink. It tastes good again. Is that vanilla I taste?
Indeed. And also cherry.
I've never, in all my existence, had cherry vanilla wine. How
It is
did you
my
come across this mixture?
To be honest, by accident. Those two ingredients got mixed in together from a mishap and turned out to be good. So, that accident turned into greatness. I just wanted to share my creation with you.
And how much do you let these barrels go for? I believe this would be make that persuasion roll for me. Let's see how well. And you do have Michael helping you, so at advantage.
So
Oh,
just to that moment, he'll just say, it's like, well, I am not sure if your currency would transfer well to my realm.
we are happy to deal in gold if that is your preferred payment.
What? Yes. Yes.
Although, while you're here, we could convert that into soul coins. So, but that was, basically he's not going to offer you as much as you were making on the previous deal. I think you were making what we said that was like 200 gold per barrel by the time you were done.
Yeah.
Basically, you were getting 200 a month, and you were selling 2 barrels to them up there. He'll give you 50 gold per barrel. Starting off with 2 barrels.
And it is where.
Or he will give you 5 soul coins right now for the first month.
Well, considering the situation, we are in dire need of soul coins more. So, and he'll just quickly take out the contract, scratch off the part where, and then he'll just replace with soul coins and hand it over him to review.
Okay. So for 2 barrels of wine, you will get 5 soul coins. And once you go back home, that can be converted, into gold. But he'll pay you 5 soul coins. Frick, what was your Constitution modifier?
My con is a flat 0.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Do you want to give those coins to someone else to hang on to for you?
Certainly.
Okay.
Can they be put inside of a bag of holding?
I'm going to rule that as long as you have them within your possession, you still feel the weight of them. They need to be carried by someone who is at least neutral. And Frick and Michael, you may be chaotic as all get out, but you're basically good people. If you prefer gold, but it doesn't have as much value down here, I'm actually being quite generous by giving you 5.
Yeah, we'll accept the soul coins, and he'll just
Okay.
hold out his hand.
Okay, you have 5 more soul coins, and just make a note that each month you'll get. We're gonna say he'll buy 2 barrels of wine, so you'll get an extra 200 gold from him. But hey, you've made headway into hell with Fricktastic format fortified wines. I don't know what you're actually going to call the brand.
So far it's just Fricktastic as the brand itself. Then it's just flavors.
Yeah. So he will buy 2 barrels of wine.
It's kind of like there's Coke, then there's Diet Coke, and there's Cherry Coke. Same thing. Fricktastic, then there's Cherry Vanilla.
Fricktastic cherry vanilla wine.
Yeah, it's just flavors after that.
Yeah. Okay. So the Wandering Emporium now stocks Fricktastic. And that will be where we call it for this week. We'll be back in 2 weeks. I'm so glad we are finally back. It has been way too long, but I think we needed the break. So please join us for... God, I don't even know how to describe what happened here today.
It was one hell of a time.
Thank you, Frick. Give yourself a plot point for that. And we're out. We're out. We'll see you later, guys. Oh.